Jenna gets the corner. He's inside the 10. He's in the end zone for a touchdown. Play big. Hersom going to go to the air for the first time. He's got Bishu open. One-handed catch. Via right side run. Lowers the shoulder. Touchdown.
Wow, what a drive.
Londonderry. Pitch left side. Bishu got some room. Shimmy shake. Wow. 10-yard line. Looking for the end zone. And Hersom going to go to the air. Deep down the middle. Morrison is there. Hand off. They stick to the runner. Ogden is going to burst through the line. And here he goes. The quarterback is on the loose. Down the far sideline and into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Derry. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. The Londonderry Lancers and the Pinkerton Astros here on semifinal Saturday. It's the D1 semis. Bedford, victorious last night over Pinkerton, awaits the winner in next weekend's championship round. Of course, these two teams end up in this spot. Highly touted all season, Pinkerton ran the table under longtime head coach Brian O'Reilly, guiding the Astros to a #1 overall seed and a 9-0 regular season record. Londonderry, almost just as good. An 8-1 regular season with, of course, the only loss right here on this field in the Mac Plaque battle back in week number 4. So a highly anticipated rematch, and this one promises to be one of, if not the best, football game this season.
Nick, if everybody you talk to, I talked to before the game and throughout the week, this is a game that's been on the map. Everybody kind of knew it was coming once the schedules are set. Once Londonderry and Pinkerton got by Salem, I think it was well understood that these teams would be looking at each other in the semis as long as they were able to get through the, well, in Londonderry's case, through the preliminary and quarters. And they're here. And what a venue this is. This place is just beginning to fill up right now. People are coming in droves. I expect a big crowd now that it's clear. These two teams match up 24-20. Pinkerton pulled out a win there with a great second half showing. It's going to be really interesting to see the flow of this game and how these individual matchups go, because they're both playing at a much higher level than they were at the beginning of the season. We had the coaches on Gridiron Thursday night, and you could clearly see they're thrilled about where their teams are at. They believe in these guys. There's buy-in on both of these programs, and the offense and defense and special teams are solid as a rock. We're going to see ourselves a heck of a football game today.
And of course, these two teams have been two of the premier programs, not just in Division I, but statewide. You look at the recent history, of course, Londonderry, champions in 2019, did it again in 2021. And
that's hard to do.
We're a point away from making it 3-4 last year when they fell in the final seconds against Bedford by a final score of 15-14. Pinkerton on the other side, a chance to get over the hump, beat Londonderry in the postseason, and return to the championship game for the first time in 5 years.
Absolutely, and let's look outward with these two teams. Londonderry earlier in the year goes down and annihilates Chelmsford, and then Brockton comes up here and takes on Pinkerton Academy, and that was a pretty good show by Pinkerton as well. So whether it's in-state or out-of-state against solid programs, these teams have proved their salt outside of the borders of the Granite State. So,
as you mentioned, a gathering crowd here. Several thousand are expected. The Pinkerton supporters, by and large, on the near side, dressed in the red and white, while Londonderry setting up camp on the far side. That includes the students donned in blue, as they've nicknamed themselves the Swamp again here in 2023. So a festive atmosphere. We lucked out. Rain showers came through this morning and have cleared out just in time for this 1 o'clock kickoff. All right, we will step aside. Come back. Both bands are here. They'll collaborate on the national anthem. We'll bring that to you. And then, of course, the coin toss and then kickoff at the top of the hour. Londonderry and Pinkerton coming up next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
Back here in Derry, closing in on kickoff. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you from Pinkerton Academy. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. You can see the crowd continuing to file in here with about 10 minutes or so to go until game time. Well, how'd these teams get here? Pinkerton, one of three undefeated teams in Division I. They were awarded the number one seed due to the strength of schedule tiebreaker, and after a bye week to open up the tournament, no problem in the quarterfinal round a week ago against Bishop Girton. That was a final score of 55-20 over the Cardinals. Londonderry had to claw their way out of the first round as a number 4 seed, despite the impressive 8-1 record. Dispatched Wyndham by a final of 46-0. And then a week ago scored the first 27 points against Bill Ball's Exeter Bluehawks on their way to a 27-7 victory. And as you mentioned, Steve, we spoke with both Coach O'Reilly and Coach Lozon on FNL Gridiron. You can watch those interviews on our YouTube channel. Both agreed that their teams are playing their best football at the right time here coming into the semifinal.
Well, if you look at the way that Londonderry and Pinkerton played Wyndham in their early parts of the season, then, or not early part, but if you look at the way Londonderry in particular played Wyndham by the end of the season, you could clearly see the growth that this team has put together. Again, a lot of new starters coming on Londonderry's group, and they have come along very, very nicely. You could see. Always watch Coach Lozon when he's quiet, and you can tell he's got that quiet confidence. And then when you look over to Coach O'Reilly, you could clearly see in talking with him on Gridiron that he's very comfortable with his team. When he says he's comfortable, that means he's satisfied at the level and the buy-in that they're playing with. So when you look at this game and you look at the history behind it, and from the battle of the two bands, just the pomp and circumstance that you always talk about opening this game when we play the Mac Plaque game, the history here is just ripe to make this game an opportunity for Pinkerton to kind of answer back to the last 3 or 4 years where Londonderry's kind of controlled the games that they've played together. This year's a very different Pinkerton team. I think the key point is Coach O'Reilly the other night saying, I have an offensive line that now meets and complements the three-headed monster or 3.5-headed monster that he talked about in this game. And when he feels that way with the wing T offense, you feel offensively you can match up, and this defensive backfield has been great for them as well. Just two great, well-coached football teams.
Of course, Pinkerton, led by senior quarterback Tim Hersom, a 2-year starter. Got that 6'4" frame, operates out of the offense very well, and of course is a threat to both run and throw.
Especially in the second half.
Coach Lozon on the other side with 4 different quarterbacks that have seen action. Obviously, that is not usual in, well, not just the state of New Hampshire, but anywhere. 4 at the varsity level, and they've all been productive.
Absolutely.
And Coach obviously is going to keep that going again tonight here on the road.
It's working for him. I mean, if you look at these aren't 4 170-pound, 5'8" guys. Each of them has their own element that they bring to the game that he said, look, how can I tell one of these guys they haven't earned the position? Most coaches wouldn't have, a lot of coaches wouldn't have, I don't want to use that word, the courage, but wouldn't have the will to make that happen. And what Jim does is look at his player personnel, does a terrific job of finding the right place at the right time. And, these guys have done fantastic. We've talked about it over and over. We look at Londonderry and the games we've seen them play. At the times that those quarterbacks go in and they stay in for a long period of time, there's a strategic reason for it. And then he'll bring in Cam Brutus, and then he'll bring in Alex, and then he'll bring – it's just right across the board. They've done a terrific job.
How about some stars tonight to watch as well, I should say today. There's one of them, Caden Michaud. One of the finalists for the Ukeka Player of the Year award. One of the
well-deserved.
Well, first of all, 10 candidates to begin the balloting. That process has now been narrowed down to 3, and there's one of them. Ran for over 900 yards, 13 touchdowns during the regular season. And on the other side, another finalist. For Londonderry, of course, that's Ty Miles, the great two-way lineman, a 3-year starter. Missed most of last year, his junior season, with a leg injury, but has come back in a major way for Coach Lozon this year. So some star power, obviously,
without a doubt, Nick,
on the field this afternoon.
Well, Ryan Catnote is a big part of, and Tim Morrison are a big part of making Caden Michaud so explosive and so difficult to contain. When Coach O'Reilly can have those two backs, kind of going the off tackle, and then, of course, Catnote going through the middle and really driving and forcing those linebackers to stay inside and not be able to get outside. As soon as the upstairs sees that, what do? They call on Caden Michaud to go in off tackle and then stretch it outside when he gets into the secondary. And he's as good at that as anybody. He jukes you. He fakes inside a run, and then he goes outside. He'll do the reverse. But it all starts with a 3-headed monster with those 3 guys doing their thing. It's very difficult to stop, and that's why they're undefeated this season.
There they come. Emerging from the locker room, under the bleachers. We get a live look. And now the band going to strike a chord as well to set the table as Coach O'Reilly's Astros get ready to make their grand entrance. The sun is poking out for the first time this afternoon, and here come the Astros. A hero's welcome from this gathering crowd here in Derry.
Great entry on both of these programs, Nick. You go over to Londonderry and you just feel the same thing. You come back to Pinkerton, it's the same thing. It's just extremely well done. Look out over the perimeter of this field. They're 5-6 deep all the way around. And the stands are going to be packed solid here. Everybody's trying to get a good view. It's really going to get hard to do pretty soon. A lot of coaches here. Yeah. And there's we've seen legend coaches sitting out. Everybody knows what this game means, and an opportunity. Somebody is going to have the opportunity to take on the Bulldogs next week.
Here comes Jimmy Lozon, 10 years on the job. Going to jog out first with his staff and head towards the far sideline. His team right behind him. The flag bearer is Seth Doyon. perhaps one of the most important players, according to Coach Lozon, that he's had the privilege of coaching. Been a big part of that defense for the better part of 2 seasons, and is going to have to play big today in the secondary if Londonderry wants to win. There are some of the quarterbacks, and there is Ty Miles as well, bringing up the rear, big number 75 in white. So both teams getting set for the coin toss. We'll get a camera out there. Our man Matt Beals with the Gorilla Cam is approaching midfield, so we'll bring the coin toss to you live. And then a collaboration between both marching bands for a live rendition of the national anthem. Steve, your keys here. What's this one boiled down to? I know we've touched on some things, but give us a couple of bullet points that might pay dividends for both teams.
I think we're going to do the anthem. It looks to me like they're calling it, Nick, but I can certainly get started.
You are right. You are right.
Yep.
So let's go down to the field.
They are worth listening to, let me tell you.
For the national anthem.
As we encourage them to demonstrate good sportsmanship, we also ask you again to help us in showing respect to your team, the opposing team, the coaches, and the officials. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise and raise your hats for the presentation of the colors by the Pinkerton Academy Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard, commanded by Cadet Captain Ian Audie and assisted by Cadet Captain Bailey Yanger, Cadet Captain Enzo Scott, Cadet Captain Nikolai Emerald, Cadet Captain Nicholas Hayman, Cadet Captain Jackson Hirsch. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem performed today by the Pinkerton Academy Marching Band.
Well, a great job by the Pinkerton Astro Marching Band, the color guard as well, setting the tone here for some football as we get set for the coin toss. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. The winner goes on to next weekend's championship game where the Bedford Bulldogs await. Bedford on the road last night knocked off Portsmouth by a final score of 28-17. 0-0. So if Londonderry wins, we get a rematch from a classic a year ago. If Pinkerton wins, we get a rematch from 2018. That was the last time Coach O'Reilly's Astros were in the big game.
And we were there. UNH. What a game that was. And, boy, I'll tell you, both of these teams have worked so hard to get here. You could see the emotion and the passion last night with two other teams that had worked so hard to get there. It was really difficult to watch the emotions unravel with a lot of the Portsmouth seniors that were on the field after the game. They didn't want to get off, but I want to congratulate each and every one of those guys for the way that they fought. I know it hurts now, but you should be extremely proud of yourself. Coach Pafford had a great group of guys right there. Just want to emphasize that one more time. What a terrific job that you guys did last night. Played your hearts out and were admired by many people watching. Appreciate that. As it relates to this game, here we are again. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. It's what you do right now, and we're going to get ready to rumble here, Nick. And I dare say this is, for me, this is one of the biggest games that I've been to for a long while.
Pinkerton will receive the opening kick. Referee Jason Patch. And an all-star crew, as we were talking about off air, Steve.
It really is.
David Prue, the umpire, head linesman Mike Dano. The line judge is Greg Surrett. The back judge, Jeremy Clegg. All recognizable names. There's Caden Michaud. That's a recognizable name in the middle of that Pinkerton huddle. Firing up his guys on their home field.
That's good stuff.
Pinkerton undefeated, a 9-0 record that included a 24-20 win over Londonderry back in week number 4. And the Lancers have been hoping to get a rematch. They've got it here this afternoon.
That game unfolded. It looked like Londonderry just came out on fire early in the season. We were here. Terrific crowd, terrific audience. Game was full of electricity. And I just really salute the work that the staff of Pinkerton did coming out in the second half with a set of adjustments in there that they had worked with their players, Nick, that really turned that game around. Either coach can do this. These guys are tremendous coaches. They have respect for each other, and they just have the respect of everybody in all of Division I land out there in New Hampshire football. And now they're gaining the respect and continued respect. I should say, continuing the respect of the outside of New Hampshire as well. So this is just going to be a barn burner. I can't wait to get started.
Several thousand on hand and on their feet here for the opening kick is the junior Blake Thompson. Gets set to kick this one off. The lefty. He's got it teed up at the 40, and we are underway. This one heads towards the sidelines and lands out of bounds, which will draw an early penalty flag for illegal procedure. So obviously Coach Lozon did not want to kick it deep to the dangerous return man, and probably the safe thing to do, just kick it out of bounds.
Nick, I don't know if he wants to give it to him out at the 40, but one of the things that there is your team's just getting started. You want your offense or defensive set to be out there in this situation. He wants to get his defense on the field, get everybody warmed up, and then make a determination, do I want to kick it deep or not? We're seeing this more and more across the board from game to game throughout the year.
So Caden Michaud, who was that dangerous returner I mentioned, going to line up in the backfield along with the big fullback Ryan Catno. The senior quarterback Tim Hersom hands off and trips. Collided, it looked like, with Michaud, who goes down immediately at the 38-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 3.
Yeah, we're going to see it right here. It looked to me like his left leg was stretched out there and hit his ankle. Michaud never had an opportunity to get started. They're lucky they were able to hang on to the ball there. Michaud did a good job. Not exactly the way that you want to start on an opening play.
So 2nd down and 13.
Be very interested in the trenches here.
5-man front for Londonderry. And Michaud again hit immediately.
Bowles.
Stopped by Riley Bowles. You know about him. He's the 6'3 junior outside linebacker, and he gets his first tackle. 2-yard gain for Michaud. And now 3rd down, 11 coming up with the football at the 40-yard line.
It's actually not Riley. You do what I do. I made you do that, Nick, because it's Devin Bowles. Right?
That's right.
Yeah, but
I apologize.
That's my fault. I keep doing that.
Double handoff. The ball's on the ground. It's still loose, and it looks like Londonderry has it. No signal yet. There it is. Well, the double handoff, it wasn't clean. It ends up on the turf. And pouncing on it for Londonderry is the big lineman Colin Kuchar, the 6'6", 275-pound junior.
It just seems a little out of time, a little out of sync, Nick. Interesting call, but both handoffs that we've seen have been a little out of sync. Know if it's early game jitters or what, but
so with just a minute gone, Londonderry going to take over with a short field here. Football in Pinkerton territory at the 36-yard line.
Londonderry getting a good rush, good defensive pressure.
Here's Connor Williams.
See what they can do on offense.
5'9" senior in the gun. Got three stacked up to the right side. He's going to run right on 1st and 10 and get inside the 35-yard line before the defense is able to catch him. At about the 33, a gain of 4, maybe 5 on the opening down.
Yeah, it looks like about 3-yard gain there, Nick. Pinkerton did a good job coming up and giving some support here. You'll see it out on the right-hand side. Ty Miles taking care of business there, but there was too many Astros coming in afterwards, making a good tackle.
Braden Connolly was there on the stop. 2nd down and 7. Williams again approaches the line of scrimmage. Little room to the left. Cuts it up inside the 20. And he's into the end zone for a touchdown.
No flags.
Londonderry going to strike first. And it comes from 33 yards away from Connor Williams, one of the 4 quarterbacks in rotation for the Lancers. Finds pay dirt. And Londonderry on the road takes an early 6-0 lead.
Well, when you get a gift that early, not a gift, but it's, when you get an opportunity, because they were part in creating that opportunity, obviously. But that offensive line work right there, Nick, looked terrific. If you look at the hole that he was at, everybody was deflected and blocked out of that area of the point of attack, and he just takes it straight to the house.
So they'll bring Thompson on for the extra point. They're trying to make this a 7-0 affair. The holder is Sam Ogden, one of the 4 quarterbacks. And the kick is on the way, and good. So, blink and you miss it.
Yes.
Lancers, they recover the fumble. They take advantage of the short field. And in just 2 plays, come up with a 33-yard touchdown run from Connor Williams.
I assume that Londonderry had won the toss and they elected to kick. Is correct? I believe that.
I'm not sure on that.
You're not sure on that? Okay.
I felt like Pinkerton may have won the toss and elected
to receive. Okay. Then there you go.
But either way,
did not work out the way that they intended it to there. That is a big turnover by Londonderry. And equally as important as the turnover, Nick, looked like the offensive front of Londonderry it came to play today. They just busted a huge hole in there on the backside. So
a dream start for Coach Lozon's Lancers, looking to make their 5th appearance in the state championship in the last 6 years.
It is a culture of commitment, buy-in. They just continually reload every single year. But you got to realize how many players in the beginning of the year started with minimal experience, and they have developed tremendously through the year into disciplined football players. Same with Pinkerton.
Thompson. Kick this high in the air. It's a short kick. It comes down at the 36-yard line in the hands of one of the upmen. And he's going to be swarmed and stopped right there. Good coverage on that high kick from Thompson, but still pretty good starting field position for the Astros' second drive as they come out at their own 32-yard line.
We'll see how that offensive line of the Astros, Nick, is able to in the backfield get settled down, get into the rhythm of their offense, and see if they can move the ball, move the sticks at least. Obviously, before you think about points, you got to be able to move individuals, the individual first downs along the way and get settled in here.
1st and 10. Ursom going to toss. First carry here for Matt Morrison, the junior, looking for the sideline. And he's up around the 40-yard line before he steps out of bounds at the 41.
Yeah,
a gain of 9 there on the toss.
Watch Morrison here as he goes outside. He measures. He was thinking about cutting in. He says, no, I've got the curve beat. I've got the edge beat. Watch right here. Doyon chasing him out there, and he knew he had the edge. What a terrific run. They're going to need to keep doing this, Nick. The weather's right for it. The field's in perfectly good condition. Both of these teams are going to be able to demonstrate what they've practiced all week offensively.
2nd and 1. First carry for the fullback, Ryan Catno, room to his right. First down and then some. Stopped by Doyon just shy of midfield.
Yeah, you don't want to be having that happen if you're Londonderry, Nick, throughout this game where you've got Catno on a defensive back because he will wear you down. Nice call there by the offensive group. Nice inside seal block on number 76.
Ends up going for 8 yards.
Don't know who that was, but
Pinkerton's got their first down. So from their own 49, Morrison in motion. Hersom under center, takes the snap. Hand to Mishu, breaks the first tackler, but fails to get back to the line of scrimmage. Swallowed up quickly by that big Londonderry front. Paul Blinder, 6'6", 260 up there. For his first tackle, the junior will set up a 2nd and 10.
With some great support from Colin Kuchar as well, Nick, coming in. Was able to get a hand on him, slow him down, and that way Binder could come in and finish the job. Good defensive line. You heard Coach O'Reilly talk about this defensive front of Londonderry. Has a tremendous amount of respect for them, and there's no reason why. They've caused havoc all year for offenses.
2nd and 10. They give to Mishu again, his 5th carry already. Looking for the edge. He's going to be tackled from behind.
Ty Miles right front and center there with some support.
Jaden Navarro as well, the 6'1" senior came in pursuit, and it's a loss of 1, and now a 3rd and 11 coming with 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter.
Alex Vila was over there as well. That's when you know Londonderry defense is doing well, when you start calling out a bunch of numbers on the tackle, Nick.
Because they get Cam Brutus as well.
Cam Brutus as well. That was just a great job of pursuit there. They're so fast.
Meanwhile, Mishu, Pinkerton failing to get him going. 5 carries, no yards. Unofficially. Hersom in the play fake. Going to roll out of the pocket, eyes downfield, heading towards the sideline, going to step out of bounds. And again, failing to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Do you know how much work it takes for Tim Hersom to not throw that ball down the field, Nick? But he made exactly the right decision. That's the kind of discipline you want from your quarterback. Don't do what some local NFL teams have been doing lately as far as just forcing that pass downfield. That was great discipline by Tim. There'll be another day. You got to trust your defense. Get back out there and make things go your own way. Good job by Tim.
So 4th and 12. Pinkerton, after picking up that initial first down, going to have to punt the football here, trailing 7-0. Back deep for Londonderry is John Wilson, 6-foot junior. This one gotten off just barely. Good job by Peyton Harmony to avoid the block. It's going to take a bounce inside the 20, roll into the 15, and ultimately come to stop at the 11-yard line.
Let's go back to Tim Hersom. What did Tim Hersom do? Did he force it? No. Did he trust the rest of his other 2 units? You got to trust your defense. You got to trust your special teams to get it done. That's what happens when you follow the script with discipline and properly. And now they've got a situation where they can defend Londonderry on their 11-yard line. That's what happens when you follow it. What a terrific job by number 9.
That's Harmony. He's been the special teams ace for Coach O'Reilly all season. Handles the punts and the kicks.
Yes, he does.
All right, so Londonderry, a little opposite in terms of field position here to begin the drive. After the takeaway, they had the ball at the Pinkerton 33. Now they begin at their own 11. 1st and 10, Williams back in at quarterback. Going to put the speedy tailback in motion and toss to him. This is Jake Shenna. Trying to get to the line of scrimmage. Won't happen.
Yeah, good
a
pursuit.
Wall of red over there waiting, including Luke Delaney, the 6'2 senior, one of the stars up front for Pinkerton.
Want to see the defensive end on that side. Who is that? Number 60, Day, does a good job of holding the off tackle. The original point of attack had to stretch it outside, push it out, and the corners do a terrific job coming up and finishing it. Good job by Pinkerton. They seem to be settling in now.
4 minutes in. 2-yard gain on the first touch for Shenna. And now on second down, it's a run up the middle that'll be bottled up as well. Well, Pinkerton, as you said, Steve, seemingly gotten over that early shock of the turnover and then the touchdown. Starting to bottle up Londonderry, and the defense has a chance to force another punt here.
Yeah, they're matching up well with that offensive line, Nick. Day is such a terrific player. Number 76. I mean, look right across the board, that defensive line, and, of course, the defensive line for Londonderry. They're two great groups, and they don't make it easy to develop a whole. Play calling, play sequencing is going to be a big part of it. Looks like we're going to have a timeout here.
We do. Our first time out, it comes with nearly 5 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance gets you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait, and it's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 5 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the seacoast. Visit NHIPhoneRepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. And finally by Spectrum Monthly. Powerful local advertising solutions. Find out more at SpectrumMonthly.com. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. 3rd down and 6 out of the timeout. Sam Ogden is on, and Ogden the junior off to the races near side, but is caught by Alex Caruso, Tim Weathers, and the rest of that Pinkerton defense. It's going to be very close to a first down if the play stands. Meanwhile, Londonderry complaining to the officials. Our referee, Jason Patch, having a conversation. I don't see a flag.
But I think there's
we are going to get a face mask.
Yep. So that's going to take care of that.
Against Pinkerton here, and that's going to give Londonderry a first down as we get another look there. Caruso comes up high and definitely gets a grab of that mask.
Probably going to be a 5. Do they have the option for 5-yarder? I believe they do. Yeah, that's what it was. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. A minor, but enough to give him a first down. That's all that matters. You see Ty Miles they're using here as a blocking back. Interesting concept.
So new life for Londonderry. The hand is to Doyon, who dances along the sideline and steps out of bounds close to that first down marker. Over the 35 to the 36, maybe a half a yard or so shy. But at least a gain of 9 there for Doyon on his first carry.
This is big movement here for Londonderry to gradually reestablish quality field position, Nick. They had him all the way down the 11-yard line, and that first down and the penalty there, I do believe he was short by about a third to a half of a yard, and that penalty made a huge difference. But that may have also assisted in getting him, tackling him down and slowing him down ahead of time. So bottom line, Londonderry gradually working out of bad field position.
Doyon, they gave him 10 on that previous carry, so a 1st and 10 for Londonderry. Ogden on a quarterback draw goes over the 40, about the 41 before he's stopped by Day. A good pickup there of 5 to set up 2nd down and 5 as we approach the midway point of this first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it looks to me like Pinkerton's defense is starting to settle in, Nick, and, playing good base defense, matching up quite well with the offensive line. I mean, one of the things you got to think about is you move Ty Miles back to be able to do targeted blocking, but you're also losing him off the line as well. So the question is, will Coach Lozon stay with this? Looks like right now he's going to.
2nd down and 5. Ogden puts Shannon in motion to the near side, fakes the handoff. Little stutter step, and then straight forward.
He's
up
close
to the 45-yard line, about a yard shy, it looks like. And now a 3rd down and 1 coming.
Yep.
Another stop for DeLange. And, we saw Connor Williams get the start. That seems to be the MO with Coach Lozon. Leave him in there for the first series. Well, the first series wasn't very long today, just 2 plays before that 33-yard touchdown put Londonderry on the board. Now here in drive number 2, it's Ben Ogden facing another 3rd down, 3rd and 1. Shenna in motion. They fake to him again, and they go up the middle with Ogden. He's to midfield, a first down, and then some. Finished off by Day at the 50. And another Lancer first down on the ground.
Seemed to be using Ty Miles as a kick-out blocker, Nick. One of his blocking was an inside seal, but yet what's interesting is they're running away from his blocks, almost using him to try to draw the linebackers and the defensive backcourt over to him and open up a hole in the backside. So 1 out of 4 times I've seen here in this drive, they've actually run to where he's blocking. Kind of an interesting concept.
Again, they got Miles in the backfield as a wingback right side. Going to put Shenna behind Ogden in the pistol, hand to Shenna. And he's through the line of scrimmage down to where? The 45, maybe 46 of the Astros. Give him a 4-yard gain officially.
This plays right into the Lancers' hands here, Nick, as far as game management. You want your offense on the field, strategically moving the sticks and taking a ton of time off the clock. You're down to 4:14 in the first quarter already. And I'll bet you Londonderry's had the ball, at least 75% of the time. That plays right into their modus operandi, their goals.
Well, this drive already over 4 minutes long. It began back at the 11-yard line. 2nd down and 6. Inside of 4 minutes remaining first quarter. Londonderry out in front 7-0. Shenna again in motion. Lines up as the setback in the pistol. High snap. Handoff right side. Shenna trying to bounce it out. Second effort. Going to lean forward down to about the 42-yard line, maybe the 41. Either way, it'll set up a 3rd down and what looks like 2 yards to go, a full 2 yards.
Nice effort, I believe, by Cameron Dillon there, Nick, to try to tackle him behind the line. But Shenna, such a coordinated runner, able to to move his legs away from the outstretched arms and grab some key yardage. 3rd down, pretty big play. Probably 4-down territory here.
Londonderry 2 for 2 so far on this drive on 3rd down. Astro fans hoping to give the defense a lift. Snap, fake handoff, and now they throw, and wide open is Bowles, who makes the catch and then stumbles his way inside the 25-yard line for a 1st down.
Watch how sneaky this was done here. They have Bowles back towards the line of scrimmage, Nick, way down low. He looks downfield and he sees, watch him. There he is. Now he releases just as quarterback looks downfield. That's a nice, that's very difficult to cover.
Ogden to Bowles. It goes for 18 yards.
Yeah, big play.
And a 1st down. Londonderry now 3 for 3 on 3rd down on the drive. Meanwhile, a whistle and a timeout is called by Pinkerton. Coach O'Reilly hoping to re-energize the defense with Londonderry knocking on the door of the red zone.
Yeah, this is, textbook Lozon right here. Mixing up plays, sequencing them perfect, having a lot of different looks, trying to make it complicated for the defense to settle in and to develop a sense of comfort, if you will, that they're going to be able to stop them. They're all over the field. If there's ever a time where he's using all quadrants, it's right here. Interesting concept here again with using timeouts, pulling him off the line. When you got that kind of depth, you can do it. And not always running towards him, but when he does, he's also using him as an extra pass blocker, and he's stopping the first guy in. And that's giving the quarterbacks the time that they need to allow the routes to be run in time, in the time frame that they need. And all cylinders going here for the Lancer offense.
It's been an impressive drive
Very
so
impressive.
far. Began back at the 11-yard line. And here comes the chance of defense as the drums are being pounded by the band in the crowd. Ogden, a high snap, handoff up the middle. First carry for Adrian Cruz. And the young sophomore is going to muscle his way into the red zone. Stopped around the 19-yard line after what looks like a gain of 5 to set up a 2nd down and 5. Well, Cruz, Shenna. We've seen Carson Palma. And, of course, all 4 of the quarterbacks are rushing threats as well.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of tools here for Coach Lozon to use.
A lot of 2nd and 2s, 2nd and 3s here, too.
On 2nd down and 5, Ogden takes the gun snap, toss. This is Caden Malik, the junior, trying to find the edge and won't. That's good defense there. Dillon, as you mentioned, comes out of the cornerback spot to set the edge and ultimately make his 2nd tackle.
I thought he was
stopped
within
there for Pinkerton. They're going to give him
Yeah.
pretty good field position with the football spotted at the 17-yard line. So a third down, about 2.5 coming as we approach the 90-second mark here in the first quarter. Alex Villa is quarterback at number 3. Into the game for the first time. Going to put Shenna in motion. Londonderry trying to go 4 for 4 on third down. Direct snap to Shenna. Going to follow via right side, stay in bounds along the sideline, and pick up a first down.
Yeah, that situation. They use Miles here. Watch this. Right at the point of attack. Getting it, whoever that was, I couldn't tell it. I believe it was 55. Got a nice inside seal here, and then they got Miles coming around the corner, just taking up space and just bowling people over. What you're going to see it. Watch Miles right here. Kicks out. Didn't even actually make the block, but the block, the defender has to run away from that and backpedals, and there you go. There's the yardage.
First and goal from the 9. Villa still in the game. Calls his own number, right side, and plunges his way inside the 5-yard line.
Have to start thinking here, Nick, about the amount of time that your defense in this quarter has been on the field. It's been a long time. You start seeing all the hands on the hips and stuff. They got to be able to sustain an offense to give some of these players a rest. Some of these guys going both ways as well. And it just gives an advantage, starts making your opposition feel like they're running downhill.
Second and goal from the 5. Down to 40 seconds, first quarter. Londonderry trying to make it a 2-score game here early. Via right side, cuts it upfield, looking for the goal line. He's in for the touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run from Alex Villa. That's got the Londonderry section of this crowd here in Derry going nuts on that far sideline. It's 13-0.
Yeah, Coach Lozon showing a lot of emotion on the sidelines right there. He knows his guys are dialed in, and the game plan that they've put, at least in the first quarter, is working like a charm, and they're methodically moving it down the field.
Comes with 30 seconds even remaining. An 89-yard drive that included 4 third down conversions.
And that pass to Bowles there on the backside there was really, that was 18-yard gain. Just makes the offense feel like they got the momentum.
Thompson's extra point is good.
Yeah, Morrison, heck of a try there to block it. Every point's valuable.
So, it's 14-0 Lancers. They've taken the home portion of this crowd right out of the game here early.
Yeah.
With 30 seconds even remaining in this first quarter.
Pinkerton, obviously, this year not very used to being put in this situation, if at all, Nick. And, the only other game that happened was against Londonderry, where they were down by 10 points going into the half, then came out and won the game. But now they're down 14 points. They really do need to answer in some fashion, whether it's 3, 6, or 7. They've got to be able to sustain a drive. Their defense right now, you can see the hands are on the hips. That's a clear sign of fatigue. And they're going to have to put together a good offensive drive here. They really have to dig down and move the football.
So Alex Villa, a 5-yard touchdown run. And Londonderry has scored on their first 2 possessions here on the road in this first quarter. A short field following a turnover from Pinkerton. A 33-yard touchdown run from the starting quarterback, Connor Williams. And then Sam Ogden was at the controls most of that drive for Londonderry before Alex Villa took over in the red zone and finished off the drive with a 5-yard touchdown run. Blake Thompson, he's 2 for 2 on extra point tries. He's had a couple of short kicks, seemingly by design, including one that landed out of bounds to begin the game. So we'll see what his third try off the tee looks like here.
You're going to kick it deep.
Well, this one is short. Quintilani, one of the up men, has it at the 25, across the 30, a pile at the 35, and it's going to finally finish up at the 40-yard line.
Looks at Londonderry saying there's a fumble here,
Lancers say they have the football, but the officials
say otherwise.
Rule that Quintilani was down. So Pinkerton, after losing a fumble on their opening drive, will keep it here and begin with a pretty good starting field spot of their own 40-yard line.
I mean, it's too bad for they weren't able to get some blockers in front of him. They tried, but he get right up the gut, and that is never a bad idea. And they got some good field position, so they're in a position. This is a key time for the Astros in the game.
23 seconds remain, 1st and 10. Morrison, his second carry, going to wiggle through the hole. Fight his way up to the 49-yard line before he's wrapped up by Kuchar.
Good, excellent job there by the officials, Nick, knowing just when forward progress was done to protect the player. In that situation, they blew the whistle. It was clear he had him in the grasp. Nice work, protects the players, and make sure that you're giving the offensive runner the opportunity to get as far as he's going to get. Nice work.
10-yard gain for Morrison, and that is going to bring us to the end of the first quarter here in Derry. A big start for Londonderry on the road.
You said it.
14-0. They've got the lead, but Pinkerton at midfield looking to counterpunch when we come back. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, semifinals edition, right here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. Well, we begin the second quarter with a drop pass here near side by the usually sure-handed Matt Morrison. The incompletion will bring up a 2nd down and 10. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you here in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. Semifinal battle, a rematch between Londonderry and Pinkerton. The winner goes on to next weekend's championship round in Division 1, where the Bedford Bulldogs await.
Well, if you see the Morrison there, it looked like he was looking to run inside after the catch, and it was outside. So
they give to Misha across midfield into Londonderry territory before Cam Brutus drags him down. No, not Brutus, but Jade Navarro.
Jade Navarro, yep.
With the tackle there. A 3-yard pickup for Michaud, has been slow to get going. The senior, over 900 yards in 9 games in the regular season, held to just 2 yards in that first quarter.
One of the things going on with Caden is he's got to start looking inside, Nick, because they're stringing the defense way out and containing in. He's got to cut inside.
3rd and 7, Catnode trying to plow a trail through the middle. Going to pick up about 5 yards, but still be left too short of the marker.
Yeah, they're going for it.
Looks like a 4th and 2 coming up from the Lancer 42-yard line.
It's a big play. Big play of the game right here, Nick. If they're able to continue and sustain this drive and work it down the field, if nothing else, you're able to rest your defensive units that aren't playing both ways, keep the offense on the field, and then ultimately maybe able to put some points on the board as well. But this is a big play for more than just points, Nick. It's just to sustain the drive, and looks like somebody's calling a timeout, and Coach O'Reilly knows how important this situation is in the game right now.
4th and 2 coming up. 3rd drive for the Astros. The first ended with a turnover, a lost fumble that set up Londonderry with a short field. 2nd drive, they had to punt, and now a 4th and 2 coming up with the conclusion unknown. We welcome you inside our broadcast. Glad you could join us. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please feel free to do so. We're online on YouTube at FNLNH Media. Again, Friday Night Lights New Hampshire on YouTube at FNLNH Media. We'll be broadcasting next weekend championship game as well in conjunction with the NFHS Network. The only place you can see that is NFHSnetwork.com, and that, of course, comes with a subscription fee, but we'll air our broadcast within 48 hours after that. And
also, don't forget Gridiron. The last Gridiron that we'll do, we will hopefully have the coaches of the 2 finalists and have a lot of other good stuff on with some. Nick always grabs some of the best reporters and media around, and that'll be on Thursday night at 6 p.m. Please join us on our YouTube station.
4th down and 2, handoff Catnode. He's got 1st down and then some.
He is something.
All the way inside the 30-yard line. Ryan Catnode one of the emotional leaders of this squad, a multi-year starter, and Coach O'Reilly calls his number at the right time.
Ryan did it, but look at the up-front blocking that he got. Watch the hole. Great job. Look at, who is that? Number 49. Who in the world? That is one heck of a block right there. He just opened this whole thing up right here. Not number 49, number 64 and 48.
Meanwhile, a 1st and 10 run for Katno. They're going to stay with the hot hand here. Into the red zone for the first time. Pinkerton's got the football at the 16-yard line. Back-to-back first down runs for Katno.
I think that timeout call by Coach O'Reilly was a perfect time to use the second timeout. Here we go.
Katno again. Going to slice his way down to about the 14-yard line this time. Another big gainer.
He very rarely doesn't get at least 2 yards, Nick. He's always leaning forward and driving through the middle. Both of these teams just have terrific offenses.
Looks like you got 3 there.
Don't be surprised if you see Tim Hersom with a keeper, Nick. I just noticed he faked it. Nobody's taken the Hersom fake whatsoever. Let's see if he does it. Yep. There he is, right there.
You called it. Villa, though, is there at the edge, and this one goes nowhere.
Yeah, they're just they play base defense so well, and they were able to get separation off the blocks. You're going to see it right here.
Goes for a 3-yard loss, and now a 3rd down and 9 coming up.
I could smell it coming, and that's just a great job, as you said, Nick, by Villa.
So 3rd down and 9 officially.
Also great separation by Ty Parsons as well. So deep this defense, Nick, of the Lancers. They're just so deep. So many players check in. They all know what to do.
3rd and 9. They're going to line up Michoud out wide. They're going to throw his way, but it's off target and incomplete. Threw it behind him.
Yeah.
And now a 4th down and 9 coming up, and another decision for Coach O'Reilly.
Yeah, he was open, wide open there, and I'm not sure he would have got a first down, but he would have been right by it if he didn't, Nick. That was an important completion right there. That I don't know who it was. It looked like it was number 70 from Londonderry. Colin Kuchar had his hands up in the air and seemed to shield out the lane in which Hersom was, or his vision to be able to make that pass. I think that might have had some impact on that pass not hitting the mark.
So we get a field goal attempt here by Peyton Harmony as he tries to put Pinkerton on the board.
Big points here.
From 33 yards away. This one is going to be waved dead as the whistles blow. There's a flag thrown.
And we didn't even get a sign whether it was good or not. False start. That's going to put it back 5 yards. That's critical.
So a 33-yard attempt becomes a 38-yarder.
See if it changes things here. I doubt it.
It's also 4th down and 14 now.
That's a big chunk of yardage to have to get on just one down, Nick, there.
Just the second penalty against Pinkerton. None so far against Londonderry.
Yeah.
With 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. You can see Coach O'Reilly talking with Harmony. And gives him the green light.
I still think Harmony has the leg. He's an excellent kicker, Nick. But
not a whole lot of wind right now.
Not a wind, but a lot of wind. But he's got to hit it on the mark.
So the kick will come from the near hash.
There's wind kicking up in his face there.
Low snap, bobbled, and they're not going to get it off. Trying to escape right side is the senior Withers, still alive for now, but then closed down at the 31-yard line. So a special teams win there for Londonderry on the bad snap. The kick doesn't happen, and the Lancers take over with their 14-0 lead still intact.
And the Lancer Nation on the other side, Nick, is energized. You could hear them all the way across here, the roar from the players all the way up to the stands and all the way around the backside there. That is a big stop. To get no points in that situation, Nick, is pretty costly at this stage of the game. But defenses... Some of the defensive players have had a rest here. They're really going to have to give it up here and hold the Lancers, get the ball back.
Londonderry, 2 touchdowns on 2 possessions in that first quarter. They take over at their own 30, 1st and 10. They give to Navarro on a sweep. He cuts it up. He's got a first down and now a foot race at midfield. The ball comes out. It juggles along the sideline. Morrison ends up with it. He's out of bounds. He recovered it out of bounds, so Londonderry will keep it. A fortunate bounce there, a great effort by Morrison, but he could
Tremendous.
not reel it in inbounds. So Londonderry has it. First and 10 coming up at the Pinkerton 32.
You're going to see it right here. Let's see what happens if Morrison had possession with his feet in. You're going to see it right here. Slow that down and clearly out of bounds. Yep, good call by the official. Nice job. Thank you, Ben. That was terrific.
Ultimately, it's a gain of 38 on that first down run there by Navarro.
Yep.
Disaster averted.
Heads-up play by Morrison, though, trying to make something happen there.
First and 10. Doyon in motion. Ogden hands to him. He runs left side. Cuts it inside the 30. Seeking the 25 before he's stopped there by Dillon. A solid gain of 7 yards to set up a 2nd and 3.
No settling in here whatsoever by the Lancers, Nick. They are absolutely just as motivated now to score as they have been the first 2 scores. They're all dialed in. You can just see the emotion that they're feeling. They don't want to have what happened to them before in the second half, so they're trying to grab a 3rd touchdown right now. That would be huge for them.
2nd down and 3. 4 minutes in, 2nd quarter. There's movement both ways, and we're going to see a flag.
Yeah, I believe that's a false start, Nick. Yep. So that's 5 costly yards right there with 2nd down.
It's the first penalty.
First,
against Londonderry.
Yep.
Seen 2 so far against Pinkerton. But by and large, we have not heard often from Jason Patch and this officiating crew. Ogden going to look to his left at Coach Lozon. Following the 5-yard penalty, it's a 2nd down and 8. Gun snap, looks left, throws left down the sideline. It sails out of bounds, incomplete, over the head of the intended target, Seth Doyon. Dillon there in coverage, and now a 3rd down and 8 coming up.
Don't know how much it's affecting it down the field, but you can clearly see the wind, Nick, is picking up as this game progresses here. You can see pretty stiff breeze. Looks like it's coming from right to left from our perspective. See how that affects the passing game. But right now it's been 90% running the ball, and Londonderry doing a very effective job mixing up, using the whole field, and literally attacking the line. They're just getting tremendous offensive blocking up front.
3rd down and 8. Lancers with 3 down linemen. Pinkerton with 3 defensive down linemen. They're going to run left side with Ogden and cannot find a seam.
Great job there.
Tackled there by Catnode and company. After a yard gain, it'll set up a 4th down and 6.
Yeah, number 79. I got a very blurry roster here.
That's Joe Pekowski.
Joe Pekowski, what a great job.
Setting the edge there, 6'5", 240-pound senior.
They move him around, always keep him on long side of the field, Nick. What a great job that he holds that edge so well and allows his defensive backers and cornerback and safeties to be able to come up with some good green space to make the tackle. Great job.
Coach Lozon going to go for it with 5 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter.
Big play.
From the Astro 29, it's 4th and 7. Ogden with a hard count.
Changing up.
Showing blitz. And now we got a timeout.
He's just a great coach. They know when their team.
Little chess match there at the line of scrimmage.
I just
and a timeout, Londonderry.
Just admire both of these coaches so much. The way that they game manage, Nick, the instinct that they have when a timeout needs to be called and for why is just proven to me over the years, Nick. You just watch it. They know when to do it. And that's a big part of a coach's job in key situations to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Let's, like you said, Nick, let's just reset the chessboard.
Yep.
And,
speaking of reset, how'd we get here? Well, Connor Williams, following a fumble recovery by the Lancer defense, took 2 plays to get in the end zone. A 33-yard touchdown less than 2 minutes in, put Londonderry on the board first. And then in the final minute of that first quarter, Lancers cap off an 89-yard drive with a 5-yard touchdown run by quarterback Alex Villa. And a moment ago, a field goal attempt by Pinkerton failed to produce points after a multi-minute drive from the Astros. And here Londonderry now facing a 4th and 7. Trying to keep this drive alive and add fuel to the fire, already up 14-0 as we approach the midway point of this 2nd quarter. Here in the semifinals, the winner will get Bedford next weekend in the Division I state championship game. The gun out of the snap, looking to throw off to the side.
Wow.
Brought down on the blitz Out of the secondary, Savas Konstantinos, the 5'9 junior, unabated to the quarterback, and a big fourth down stop there for Pinkerton.
Yeah, Sam just held that ball too long, Nick. Coach Lozon was coaching him after that play. Either run with it, far earlier than that, or just throw it out of bounds. One or the other. You're in the pocket. Look at that. Yeah, he was going to throw it, but that's just a terrific job by the defense. Good coverage downfield by the Astros.
Pinkerton takes over, 1st and 10. They go to Morrison. He tries to weave his way up the field to about the 40. They'll give him forward progress after a 3-yard gain.
Well, the Astros, Pinkerton has a lot of time, 6:51, Nick. No need to rush anything. Have a slow burner down. Try to get in within one score if you can before you go into the half. They have an opportunity to make this thing close again.
2nd and 7, Hersom, play action. Gonna roll right. Shake a man at the line of scrimmage and pick up a few yards before he steps out just shy of the marker.
That's just great work by Hersom, having instincts in the pocket. Chose 3 different lanes, and he was 3-0 on that, being able to get himself out of the pocket, buy some time. Watch this. Instep, out, beat 70 outside. Watch him, and he fakes him right out. He lets him lunge at him, and boy, with that extension that Tim's got, and he grabs every yard that he possibly could.
Pretty shifty.
No sense getting tackled by number 70 when you're the quarterback.
3rd down and 2 after a 5-yard gain. Catnode up the middle, trying to find space, but can't.
Yeah.
Hit around the waist and dropped by Ty Parsons for no gain for Catnode. So 4th down. Looks like 4th and 2 from the Astro 45.
Just not able to get those 3rd down, 1st downs, Nick, and they're putting themselves in a lot of 4th down situations. And this is high risk. I mean, if they don't get the 4th down, you're giving Londonderry with, 5:35 left, a short field in your own territory. But Coach O'Reilly has no choice here. He's got to go for that, and that's this situation. Otherwise, it's going to get out of control. If you kick it away, you're giving Londonderry offense too much time on the field. This is a big play in the game. 4th
down and 2. Pinkerton converted on a 4th down last drive. They go to Mishu. He escapes a man and picks up a 1st. A slicing move up to midfield.
Yeah.
Paid the price, though. Hit hard by Ty Miles, and Mishu is still down.
Yeah, this is
the senior shaken up, and they're going to have to bring the trainer onto the field here. Not a good sign for Pinkerton.
If you're ever look at the speed that this big man provides. Look at that. Shakes off the blocker and is able to get Caden Mishu with his lateral movement. This is just football. Look at this. Wow. And that's
it's a big tackle, and that's a
big tackle in this
landing
game.
On top of him, a 300-pound senior.
Yeah, he just looks like he's holding the right side of his neck, Nick, there. And he's kind of shaking his head, pointing to his shoulder.
He's still got the shoulder pad exposed there, as you can see. And
that is
everybody holding their breath here on the Derry sidelines, Pinkerton sidelines. So Mishu, we'll see, but out of the game for the moment. All right, 1st down and 10. It's like 2 bigger backs now in the backfield behind Hersom. They hand to Catnode. He's got something going there.
Not quite.
Maybe a 9-yard pickup on a right side run to set up 2nd and short.
The question with Mishu is it something that's can be shaken off over time, just kind of got crunched, or is there something that's going to limit his capability to get back on the field?
Well, they got several trainers looking at him now. Of course, Mishu, one of the best runners in the division, over 900 yards, 13 touchdowns during the regular season. Had a big week last week in the win over Bishop Girton in the quarterfinals. And is going to take a walk, I believe, to the locker room right now with the training staff. Meanwhile, on 2nd and 2, it's Hersom met in the backfield by Villa and finished off in pursuit there by Bender. See where they spot him. Looks like it'll be at the Lancer 45, so -2 on that run. And now a 3rd down and what looks like 5 coming up. Another chance for the Londonderry defense to maybe force a punt here, depending on what happens.
They got Coach O'Reilly talking to talking to Hersom and Morrison, both going in. Be interesting to see what this offensive call is here, Nick.
Meanwhile, we're making our way towards 3 minutes remaining in this first half. Lancers with a 14-0 lead. Pinkerton.
Boy, that was a terrific athletic defensive play by Ty Miles, Nick.
Hersom on the play fake. Avoids Bowles, runs to the right, trying to get rid of the football. Comes back near
What a
side.
job.
He's got Catnode open. Catnode inside the 30. Tackled by Brutus at about the 26-yard line. Those two get tangled up. Yeah. And a big play there. Great extension by Hersom.
Tremendous.
Finds Catnode ultimately, and a first down for Pinkerton.
This third time he's done that, Nick, where he's extended a play and made a huge difference in each one of those, Nick. 2 in the last 3 or 4 minutes here.
It's a gain of 19 through the air.
Yeah, but just great work, and just having that wherewithal to look downfield and have the vision to see every receiver, and Catnode right there and available to take the ball. He's just a money player. It's a big gain.
The officials are talking about something. I don't know if it's related to the little spat between Brutus and Catnode as they were tangled up trying to get back to their feet after the tackle. Now a flag is going to be thrown.
Wow.
Catnode kind of leaned over Brutus, had something to say, and now after a discussion there is a flag thrown.
That would be a huge flag, Nick. Maybe we can get a look at it. I didn't.
No, there's an illegal man downfield.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Apparently nothing to do
with that scrum.
With the confrontation. There was a player, an offensive lineman that drifted a little too far downfield prior to that Hersom throw. So you hear the boos from the Astro fans. It's a very costly penalty. It wipes out the third down conversion.
Well,
and they're going to back the football up.
It just keeps on. They can't get. Coach O'Reilly doesn't look thrilled about it, obviously. That is a huge play in the game. Right now, you're going downfield. You've got 3:05 left. It seems to be working. The time that's left versus the time that's needed is at the right measure, and they're moving the ball effectively down the field. That's just a big one right there. Couldn't really see that on the replay, Nick. But they did. The officials did what they need to do, and that's communicate, make sure that everybody's on the same page. And out of, I believe it was Jason Patch's. The flag comes out. So here we are, 3rd and 12, 13, maybe 13?
3rd and 13. After the 10-yard penalty, the ball backed up to the Astro 47. The sun comes out here in Derry. Hersom under center. Play fake. Bowles is right there. Hits him as he throws. That ball ends up incomplete.
It was tipped. According to the official Patch, it was Jason Patch. It was tipped.
Hersom took a shot on the release as well and was slow to get up.
He sure did.
So it looks like a punt coming as the Lancers celebrate on the sideline with 2:32 to go in this second quarter. The 4th down and 13. Hersom still on the field for now, and now is starting to walk off as the punt unit comes on. Again, we welcome those of you watching across the state, across the country, across the world. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week, and a good one here in the Division I semifinals. These two rivals in a rematch from week number 4 looking to punch their ticket to next Saturday's championship affair, where the Bedford Bulldogs, the defending D1 champs, await. Here's Harmony on for the punt. Gets it off from his own 37. Sky high down the near side, lands out of bounds. Inside the Lancer 30.
You got distance with no return.
At about the 26.
This draw, you got how many minutes left? You got 2:29 left. And I believe Coach Lozon has at least burned 2 timeouts, right? Or has he got 1 left?
I think each team has 1 left. But
yeah, I think you're right. So we'll assume he's got 1 left. This defense has really got to step up here and try to get in without any further damage, Nick. Or the hole that they're going to have to dig out in the second half is already enough at 14. But they have an offense that's good enough to do it.
Yeah.
It's just you get 3 scores down, the percentages go through the roof.
Coming up at halftime, Got an extended edition with both bands performing live. We'll bring that to you. Plus full game recaps with stats and highlights. All that coming up at halftime. Ogden back in at quarterback. Going to roll left side. Trying to follow the big time Miles. Tripped up there by Alex Caruso.
Nice job.
Gets him below the knee after a 2-yard pickup and a 2nd and 8 coming. Londonderry really in no hurry, I would imagine. They're set to get the ball back to begin the third quarter. And obviously are pleased about where they are on the scoreboard, out in front 14-0.
Well, it's instead of going for the jugular here and trying to take risks and go in 14-7 with a pick six, Coach Lozon is smart, I think, to burn out the clock because of one big reason. You're getting the ball to open up the second half. And this game, at this point, I think he's making the right decision. But who knows? Now
play action. They're going to throw a screen. This is Matt Carroll, the senior, and Pinkerton diagnoses it well. Delaney over there first for the Astros on the tackle. 1-yard gain to 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Pinkerton not backing down by any stretch here, Nick, on the defensive side of the ball. This is really about their offense getting just having, that penalty against Catno is just a huge one. And, not against Catno, but I mean against the illegal man downfield. That's just a huge again, when you extend the play, that's what happens with linemen. They tend to slip down the field, and once you break that plane or that limit, hit that limit, that's what's going to happen. That's a big part of this last 10 minutes of this quarter.
Final minute here of the first half. Ogden on a right side run, going to cut it up the middle and get planted at about the 31-yard line. Good play in pursuit there by Marco Centano, one of the captains for Pinkerton.
So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Lozon got. 49 seconds left.
Coach O'Reilly is going to call a timeout here.
Yeah, why not, right?
With his team set to get the ball back, as Londonderry looks like will punt here on 4th down and 5, just inside of 50 seconds remaining.
Again, good job done by the Astro defense, Nick, to keep the score at the most here with a 14-point margin, and then even with 49 seconds able to get the ball back here. So this defense at Pinkerton has done overall a pretty good job. They have been on the field a lot this half. So some good drives by Pinkerton, moving the ball down the field, but then they stall out, either do a penalty or just some great defensive work by the Lancers, Nick. The Lancers are clearly dialed in from the opening kickoff right here. And it looks to me like the game's kind of settling in a little bit of a middle-of-field lull here. And they'll go into the half, make their adjustments, and look forward to a good competitive second half.
Well, there's always the risk of Matt Morrison coming up with a big return here for Pinkerton. So Devin Bowles on his first punt attempt. Be interesting to see if he tries to avoid the speedy junior on the other end.
Yep.
Bowles gives the thumbs up, says he's ready, stands at his own 18. Takes a high snap and boots this off the left foot very high. It's down the middle. Morrison going to call for a fair catch and make it from his knees. Back at the Astro 36-yard line.
44.
So 44 seconds for Pinkerton to work with. Trailing here 14-0. We'll see how aggressive they are if they look for points before the half. And again, the Astros will kick to begin the third quarter. An extended conversation along the near sideline with Coach O'Reilly and his senior 2-year starter, Tim Hersom. Now Hersom going to jog into the huddle.
Well, you've got to tell your quarterback, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. Remain disciplined. We have an opportunity to come out here with a 14-0 lead, 14-0 down, and deficit to make up. You don't want to create anything that's going to make that change going into halftime. And give your players an opportunity to reset and come out with a whole new frame of mind and a new strategy, make adjustments, see what happens.
1st and 10. And look out. Villa shoots into the backfield like a bullet. Knocks down Morrison, and that's a loss of what looks like 3 yards.
We heard on Gridiron on Thursday night, Nick, we were talking to Coach Lozon, and he's talking about this young man and what an impact that he's made, beyond quarterback. And he's done it there. He's been very strategically valuable at the quarterback position. But his defensive play, Nick, he's a big, tall frame, and he plays with a high degree of emotion.
2nd and 13. Cadno trying to grind out couple of yards up the middle, but is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage as Villa again is first there. That'll do it for the first half here in Derry. Londonderry with a 2-touchdown lead on the board, scores from two of their quarterbacks. Connor Williams in the first quarter, Alex Villa scored in that frame as well. And the Lancer defense forced a couple of key mistakes there. They came up with the game's only turnover so far on the opening drive. Special teams came away with a win as well, as Pinkerton failed to convert on a field goal attempt in that second quarter. So all in all, it all adds up to a 14-0 Lancer lead at the midway point.
Yeah, and if you're Pinkerton, if you just saw Caden Michaud go off the field with his left arm in a sling, Nick, very similar to what we saw last week with Aiden Thomas on Portsmouth, Nick. That does not look likely for a return when you see the arm in a sling. So looks to me like with their finalist, Ukika finalist is going to be out of the game. But Pinkerton's got good depth. You got Morrison and Catno and Hersom. You got a great offensive line still intact. You got to get past that and come out with what you've got and give it heck. So, all right. I just feel bad for the young player that obviously can't finish this game.
Tough blow for Pinkerton. Tough blow for Michaud for sure.
Yep.
All right. Here's what's going to happen over the next 20 or so minutes. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to bring you a live performance on the field as a big collaboration between two of the state's best bands, Londonderry and Pinkerton. We'll also get the stats to you, along with the highlights, the recap, and all the good stuff from that first half. So don't go anywhere. On-field entertainment on the other side. 14-0 Londonderry, leading Pinkerton in this Division I semifinal at halftime. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.NHTomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly. No one brings you better offers.
Hi, Steve Beals back here at halftime as we listen to the Londonderry world-renowned, certainly nationally renowned band play out there. They are terrific in the sunlight. What a beautiful sight. Speaking of a beautiful sight, I looked down the field earlier and I saw one of our legends in New Hampshire football, multi-championship just a terrific guy. He's lived his life educating students. Paul Levine. Paul, glad to have you with us and appreciate you coming on and give us a little insight into this game with the way you've seen it so far in New Hampshire football. Paul has coached, Milton?
Milford
West High School? Milford West High School.
Memorial,
Interlakes,
and Bedford. And
Yep.
so I've enjoyed my career. It's been nice. I really like it. I like going to games like this now. I miss it, but we'll see what happens in the future.
Yep. Well, Interlakes had a solid. Really, you developed that the second round that you actually. How do you do something like that? You build up a championship program. You go away for a few years. They beg you back. You go in there. You build it up, and now it's going strong again, Paul. I mean, It must make you feel good inside.
I tell you, I do feel good about that because it's just one of those things when you can take a small team and you can build it up.
Yeah.
And not just wins and losses, but numbers and the kids. When the kids start quitting, that's when you know you're doing a bad job.
Absolutely.
But when they start coming on board, you know you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's good.
Well, I mean, let's take a look at this game today. This has been a game that's brought Paul Levine down to even getting interest. I saw some of your fellow cohorts down there enjoying the game on the sideline. What a terrific thing. Yeah, Coach O'Reilly. You've known Coach O'Reilly for decades, I know, and so many of the coaches. What do you do what do you guys do in a situation like this? You've lost one of your key players. You're down 14-0. Things didn't get started right. What do you do with Coach O'Reilly as a head coach in the locker room to get them to come out second half and close this thing?
I got a funny feeling that they started off very poor here, 14-0 down in the first couple of minutes. Londonderry's got a nice game plan. They're going to take their running game against Pinkerton. They're going to take it away from them because obviously you can see Pinkerton is really struggling on a passing department.
Yep.
So they're going to take their running game, and it's doing a good job. Pinkerton had trouble adjusting. They shot themselves in the foot a couple of times, as you know.
Yep.
Bad penalties, a fumble here and there. But I think now it looks like they settled down, and they're starting to play a little bit more heads up. They're starting to play a little bit more determination. I think that's what killed them at the very beginning, lack of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
They really showed they were just out there going through the motions. But now I think they come out in the second half.
They're geared up.
They get geared up. They get it going. They got to get a couple passes in there, though.
Yeah.
If they don't get the passes going,
well, and then they had a couple. They had a pass down to Catno on and they had a extended play. Kind of creates that linemen sneak their way down the field, and that's so frustrating because that would have been a big play for them at that point.
Oh yeah, and the drop ball they had, and so I just think that they just let themselves go in the first quarter, and then I think since the second quarter they've settled down really good. Now they got to go out there and say, the hell with the 14-0.
Yeah.
Let's just play hard-nosed football. Let's go get them and make some tackles.
One stick at a time. Move the stick one at a time, see what happens.
They got to make a stick on the guy. They got to stay home and just play their job. But
when you look here, Paul, at high school football, you've been involved, I believe, 4 decades, correct? 4 decades you've been involved in New Hampshire high school football. Where is the state of the game right now from your 100-foot level looking? A lot of the teams have numbers just going through the roof again. Other teams are struggling to get 35 guys. Where do you see it right now?
Well, right now I see the smaller divisions, like Division 4. I feel sorry for Division 4.
Yeah.
They only have 7 games. They only have 8 teams. And the thing that really scares me is a couple of those schools up north, they're starting to forfeit games because they get a couple kids hurt. They don't have enough to fill a team.
Yeah.
And something's going to have to be done in the state of New Hampshire. They got to take Division 1. They got to get rid of some of those teams, move them down to Division 2, take some of the good Division 2, bad Division 2 teams, sort of bad, and move them down to Division 3. And they got to, if they're going to keep the football healthy in the state, they got to start marketing the Division 4.
Yeah.
Division 1, they got 21 teams.
Can you do what Oyster River did, and where they combine with Portsmouth? Can you combine a couple teams at Division 4? Maybe make 3 division. I have no idea. That's up for the professionals up top to do.
I think that's been a savior.
Yeah,
it's helped Meredith.
Yeah,
I mean we got
you have Moltenboro, right?
We got Moltenboro.
Yeah,
Moltenboro and Interlake. that's going to help a lot.
Yeah.
The trouble is some of those teams like Mascoma, there's no other.
Yeah.
The towns are so far apart.
Yeah.
The high schools are so far apart. It would take a half hour, 45 minutes to get there. So, anyways.
Isn't it difficult, though, when with the way the game's going, with the spread offenses and such, you really need everybody's got to be more athletes are needed, and it's difficult to gather the talent around to run an effective spread. Yeah. And it seems to be more and more teams are going that way. But yet, what's interesting up at Division I, Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of these spread teams are running the ball 70-80% of the time. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I think the old spread thing is something like everybody has to have it.
Yep.
Well, you know what? If you look really closely at some of these good schools that are playing hard football, then they know how to run with the ball.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is they know how to tackle.
Yeah, yeah.
And those are the two
fundamentals
things
are never going to go away, are they?
No. You can run whatever you want for an offense. If you can't block and you can't tackle, you're not going to win. You're not going to win.
Where do you see the future going right now? Do you think that we may be on track a little bit with some unification? It has like Trinity, clearly going up Division II, great move for them. They're dominating Division III. They're going up Division II. That's going to help Division II. But you actually said maybe shrink D1 a little bit and take some of the weaker teams in Division I, but where they can create some good battles and matchups down there.
You got 21 teams in Division I.
Yep.
You look at the teams, and you're never going to see 5 of those teams ever getting into the playoff championship game.
Yep. Kind of do what West did. Move down, try to get competitive, win some games, and get the kids back out.
It's almost like having a Division 1A and a Division 1B. That's what I'm kind of looking at, because you just can't have 21 teams up there.
I got to get a question in.
Go ahead.
What's the future for Paul Levine? You thinking? You're missing it too much?
Come
on, talk to us.
I'm missing it a lot, and let's just say that I'm working on my future right now.
Yeah, well, Paul, your past has been something that's been an inspiration to me. You've meant a lot to me for a lot of years. I just think the world of what you've done for football, the reasons you do it, and the way that you've handled it. And, you're a tough coach. You expect a high degree of success, but you love those kids, and they know it, and they give themselves up for you, Paul. You've had an illustrious career, but most of all, it's the effect that you've had on other younger coaches that watch what you do and watch that through the years, and you can see some of this stuff with these younger coaches coming up are great guys we've got coming up. The coaching has been fantastic, at least in Division I and elsewhere.
I appreciate that.
I mean it, Paul.
Steve, and I appreciate it. It's I've been in the game for coaching 45 years now, and I'm not in it for the money. I'll tell you that.
No, absolutely not. Yep. And the weight room has been an anchor of what get your guys bigger, faster, stronger. And that's been something that you've preached. Mike DeRoche, your assistant coach, good friend of mine, said, let me tell you, I can't believe this guy, 80 years old, and just in every day forcing the weight room. But you lead by example. So
you got to make the kids believe in themselves.
You do.
Once they believe in themselves, I'll tell you, you can go out there and win any game you want.
Well, spend some time with your wonderful family. I know all of them.
Thank you very much.
And they're wonderful people. But if you got a little bit more, boy, we'd love to see Paulie Beebe back out in the football field. God bless you, brother.
Thank you very much.
All right, and thank you so much for coming up here with Friday Night Lights and talking to us.
Thank you.
All right.
It's the legendary
Legendary.
Paul Levine.
Absolutely.
Kind enough to drop by. And good stuff there, as usual, from the long-time legendary football coach.
You know what Paul has meant to you see him go out there with other legends, and you could see the connection that he had with Coach O'Reilly. Coach O'Reilly told the guys come right over in the sidelines there, because they are. I hate to use the word royalty, because Paul's the antithesis of royalty. He's a very sound guy, in it for the right reasons. Of course, as these two coaches are here today, and the two coaches we saw last night, just great staff. The most exciting thing for me, Nick, is the quality of the coaching that we're getting. If you watch Paul, it's all about commitment starting in January. And he has high expectations, but he's been able to. He doesn't really care what division it is. He just wants to work with kids. 80 years old. Look at the vitality that man has. He's an inspiration for anybody who wants to have longevity and stay focused on what they're doing. So,
good stuff.
Great guy. Great guy.
Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Division I semifinals. here in 2023, so far going Londonderry's way as the Lancers look to make a 5th championship appearance in the last 6 seasons. Coach Lozon got his team on the board first. The defense able to come up with a takeaway as they pounce on a fumble. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone as starting Lancer quarterback Connor Williams scored from 33 yards out. Later in that first quarter, Londonderry went, 4 for 4 on 3rd down on that 89-yard drive that was capped off by a 5-yard touchdown run from Alex Villa, one of 3 quarterbacks to take a snap in that first half. Pinkerton behind Ryan Catno, who had 48 yards in that first half.
He's been a bright spot for Pinkerton, no question, Nick, to your point.
Also pulled in an 18-yard catch, but for one reason or another, the Lancers kept Pinkerton off the scoreboard. We saw a missed field goal that never got off the ground on a bad snap, and a costly penalty as well. Took away a key 3rd down conversion for Pinkerton late in that second quarter. Astros will have to kick to begin the second half. And as you asked Coach Levine, I'm going to ask you the same thing. What can Coach O'Reilly do here with his club down 2 scores?
Well,
and without their arguably best player in Caden Michaud.
The thing is, their other 2 are fantastic. It's going to be interesting to see who comes in and takes the place of Caden Michaud, and if they're able to get this offense. Obviously, Nick, what I feel has to happen is what happened the last game. You have to make some adjustments, and you have to, as an offensive group, get together and say what was working and why. Where were we in the point of attack that we were able to get yardage? And I think what we saw there with that I think is something that the reason why they still have a chance to win this game, Nick, is because of Hersom not making mistakes by trying to force things. The discipline that he showed, working around the pocket. A couple times he held the ball and he just stuck it and run. It didn't get any yardage, but he didn't get the team in trouble. It's 14-0. They have to come out here defensively, make a stop. And I believe if they can successfully get a methodical drive downfield and get some points, it's going to give them the kind of confidence they need to want to get the ball. They have to have that feeling like we can do it rather than feel like they're pushing a millstone up the hill. They got to at least play level field here. But this defensive pressure on this first possession by Londonderry, the defense is going to have to stop them. You can't go down 3 scores. Otherwise, the percentages go down literally right in the dungeon, Nick, as far as your opportunity to overcome 3 scores.
And, of course, if you're Londonderry, you're licking your chops. A 14-point lead. You're about to get the ball. A score on this opening drive of the third quarter.
Yeah,
could really tilt the odds in Londonderry's favor.
Yeah, Coach Levine was talking about you got to get some passing. What he means by that, as a running coach himself, I believe what he was saying is you've got to make this play-action pass work. You can't get it all in one shot. You got to methodically move the ball down the field and be patient while you're doing that. So I'm a little bit surprised that the score is 14-0, but to Paul's point and to your point, Nick, it all happened pretty much in the first 7 minutes of the game where they just didn't come out with the sort of vitality that Londonderry did, or I don't want to say vitality, things just weren't in sync, you know what I mean? And they have squared up with them in the second quarter. And so if they can continue and progress on that, they have a home field advantage. That's another thing. Get this big crowd into the game supporting you. Right now, it's been all Londonderry's been making all the noise over there because it really hasn't been much to go by. But if they go down the field and they're not able to score because of a penalty, a motion penalty, or an illegal man downfield, or a personal foul or something of that nature, that's really going to be uphill for them from there. So we'll see what happens. But, you've literally, Nick, you got to forget that Caden Michaud is not in the game. You have to get it behind you. All you have before you is what you've got here. It seems like a tall order right now, but it seemed like that the first game that we played, they came back and won the game 24-20. So we'll see.
Pinkerton will kick. Londonderry will return for the first time this afternoon. And as we know, they got kind of a diamond formation on the back end of that return unit with 4 lethal returners.
Love to fake handoffs and all of that. They're good at it. don't think that Coach Lozon doesn't know that he probably feels himself, I got to score again here to lock this thing in. So I think you're going to see an all-out effort in this drive, obviously, that they're going to try to move the ball down the field and get in and kill this thing early. But there's a lot of things that have to happen in order to do that against this defense. Has actually been pretty solid by Pinkerton, I think.
Peyton Harmony will tee it up from the far hash as the sun comes back out here. Again, the winner will take on Bedford a week from today in the Division I state championship game. Bulldogs looked good last night en route to another shutout.
They sure did.
As they knocked off previously unbeaten Portsmouth by a final score of 28-0.
I don't think many have left here, Nick. It still looks like a pretty solid capacity crowd here. These two teams get together. It's never over.
Harmony kicks this one in the air. Spiraling kick handled inside the 15-yard line. Doyon with a seam. Doyon with one to beat at midfield, and Doyon is not going to be caught. Touchdown, Londonderry. An 85-yard touchdown return by the Lancers has the far sideline up in arms. Seth Doyon, known for what he can do defensively, shows you the speed with the football all the way to the house untouched, and it's 20-0 Londonderry.
And you look at the lane where he went through. Two kickoff lane players in that area fell right down, Nick. If you see that on the replay, it's going to show you what happened right there. Unbelievable turn of events here. We just got through saying what has to happen, and the exact opposite happens. Londonderry just exploiting every single opportunity and every weakness and every occurrence that happens. It gives them an advantage, and they just take it right to the house on that play.
Coach O'Reilly had told us really all season long he was proud of the way his special teams had played. In comparison to recent seasons, he had seen an improvement. But Londonderry, they put just as much stock in that special teams play as well, and it pays off there. An 85-yard touchdown run on the kick return by Seth Doyon. Brought another hush over this home crowd.
Yep. Stands to reason that's going to happen with you down 3 scores this early.
Blake Thompson trying to go 3 for 3. That kick is right down the middle and good. So 21-0 Londonderry. After losing on this field back in week number 4, they've had revenge on their minds and hoping for ultimately a rematch next weekend with Bedford from last season's championship.
Okay.
Which was a thriller.
We're going to see it right here. I don't know if this view will show it, but 2 of the players coming down the field completely follow up. They trip each other, and that opens up that lane wide open for Doyon to take it to the house. Just a really difficult turn of events for the Astros right there, but Londonderry exploits and succeeds with any opening that you give them always. It's almost a guarantee that you've got to come with your A game here to beat this Lancer squad. There, you're going to see it right here on the top of your screen. Watch, they kicks it out, and then there's the ball. Goes right where those 2 players went down. Unfortunate event that happened there for the Astros.
A couple of key mistakes on special teams this afternoon by Pinkerton.
Yeah.
They had the faulty snap on the 38-yard field goal try. Kick never got off the ground. That one late in the second quarter, and here to open up the third quarter, it's an 85-yard touchdown return by Seth Doyon. So the Lancers with a 3-score lead now on the board, just 13 seconds into this third quarter, are going to kick here from right to left as Thompson approaches, swings to left leg, aims this one down the middle, another high kick. Catnode is there at the 20, crosses the 25, trying to break to the left, but he's wrapped up quickly. Matt Carroll is there on the stop for Londonderry. Lets out a yell on that far sideline. Pretty good coverage there. Pinkerton will begin the drive at their own 25-yard line, trailing here 21-0.
Yeah, Londonderry showing that there's just no weakness right now. They are solid as a rock from end to end, front to back, and in all 3 phases of the game, Nick, they're beginning to take over the game. The only way things can change here is they've got to to get themselves together, but offensively and work the ball down the field. But
they'll have to do so without Caden Michaud.
Absolutely.
Who left in the second quarter with an apparent shoulder injury. They go to Morrison. He's going to have to be the guy after just 4 carries in that first half.
Yep.
Going to escape to his left, cross the 30, and is tackled along the sideline, a couple of yards shy of that first down marker. Looks like 2nd and 2 coming up.
Yeah, I had Michaud was down on the field there earlier. Don't see him right now. He's probably out there somewhere. But
Morrison goes for 7. He had 19 yards on 4 carries in that first half. Catnode, he was really the go-to guy with 8 carries, 45 yards unofficially.
Yeah, he's going to be really close. Yep, they're going to say he's got a first down there. So they moved the stick successfully there.
I don't know. Did they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets 3 there, just enough.
Officiating job, done a great job today keeping the flags. Nick, to your point, I know you and I both feel the same. Don't throw a flag unless it's absolutely, I'll use the word necessary or,
if it impacts the play.
If it impacts the play, and they've done that to a T today.
Yeah, just 3 penalties against Pinkerton in that first half, 1 against Londonderry.
Yep.
Catno, again, going to grind out some yards.
Offensive
fights
line.
His way across the 40 up to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, offensive line does a nice job there, Nick, of down blocking on the inside, and Catno knows how to follow those as good as any. Watch the inside 54, and then you had, I believe it was 70. Nice work.
Good pickup of 5 on first down. Now Morrison is dragged down from behind in the backfield. Another tackle for a loss.
He's having himself a big game.
By Alex Villa. That's his 4th stop unofficially. Of course, he scored a 5-yard touchdown on offense as well.
Absolutely. And, we refer back to, look at him here. He gets separation because of that big frame. He's so strong, and he's able to break through, and that extension on the tackle, able to bring Morrison down. That's a big play.
So it's a loss, what looks like 1, and now a 3rd down and 6. Ursum under center. They stay on the ground. Morrison right side, plants the foot. There's a flag on the play. If the play stands, it's a first down for Pinkerton, but again, a penalty marker is down in the backfield.
Can't afford penalties yet, but yet that is a holding call. Very difficult to get a drive going, Nick, when it gets stalled, especially on 3rd down. Where you've got to, seeing that first down happen. I'm not sure how significant that was as far as the gain, but nevertheless, 10 yards back.
The back judge, Jeremy Clegg,
just slows everything down.
They're going to back it up. So again, another 3rd down conversion wiped out via penalty for Pinkerton. Saw that in a crucial drive late in the second quarter as well. So instead of 1st and 10, the Astros face what looks like a 3rd and 15 here, with nearly 3 minutes gone by in this 3rd quarter. Lancers a 21-0 lead. They scored following the game's only turnover back in the first quarter. And they score here early to open up the second quarter. Meanwhile, Ursum hit as he throws. That one is ruled incomplete.
Yeah, that's a forward pass for sure there. But
Lancers love it. They're going to bring up a 4th and 15. As they bring heat there, a good play call defensively.
Absolutely good play call, but it's also good execution by 11 defensive players everywhere they're supposed to be. They're winning the individual battles, Nick, up on the defensive front, with defenses getting clear separation and able to kind of throw the offensive line to the side and break through and create pressure on Ursum. Never really able to settle in there in the pocket comfortably.
So Peyton Harmony back on, standing at his own 19-yard line. Block was on there for Londonderry. Yep. They almost get there. Punt is high arcing. Going to bounce near midfield and be down on the Londonderry 49-yard line. Great starting field position for the Lancers. Got a 21-0 lead here 3 minutes into this 3rd quarter. And as you mentioned, Steve, ever since that setback in week number 4, it seems like Londonderry has gotten stronger and stronger. This defense right now, pitching another shutout, so to speak. They opened up the tournament with a 46-0 win over Wyndham and put up the first 27 points a week ago on their way to a 27-7 win over Exeter.
Yeah, right on, Nick. It's an individual, looking at each individual growth that has happened in the second third of the game of the season till now. So many individuals have grown their game once they achieve starting roles this coming in this year, and the development throughout the year has been incredible.
Here's Connor Williams. He got the start. Ran 2 plays. One of them ended in the end zone, a 33-yard touchdown that opened up the scoring 2 minutes into the contest.
Yeah.
Since then, we haven't seen him
Yeah.
on offense. We see him here. He goes straight forward for 5 yards to set up a 2nd and 5.
So far, the base defense has only allowed 14 points. Be interested to see what happens the rest of the game, Nick. And but it's just offensively, almost like a little bit like last night, just unable to establish any offensive flow and to score points and give the defense something to continue to fight for. But
Shenna in motion, going to line up as the setback in the pistol. They fake to him. Williams, step to his right, and plows straight ahead.
Yeah.
Stopped a couple of yards, looks like shy of that first down marker. As the big Pekowski is over there again with the tackle. We saw Sam Ogden take a lot of the, I would say the majority of the snaps for Londonderry in that first half. One of 3 quarterbacks in the game so far this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
We may or may not see a 4th, Cam Brutus, who's been in the rotation all year. He's made his mark on defense today. Right now, they're going to stick with Williams, an upcoming 3rd down and 2. Quarterback draw again. And he's going to get some great push at the end of that run.
Great
for a first
offensive
down.
surge, absolutely. That was just
It's a 6-yard gain up the middle.
they have a good core group of 8 or 9 linemen that play defense and offense. Then you throw bring Villa in there on the defensive line, Nick. These guys have clearly been in the weight room, but that it's the technique in which they play as well that I've really enjoyed to watch throughout the year, and extremely difficult to stop.
1st and 10. Clock ticking. 5 minutes gone by already here in the 3rd quarter. Williams analyzing the line of scrimmage, going to put Shenna in motion. And to him, Shenna comes back to his right, going to dance to the sideline, and is hit right around the 35-yard line, maybe 2 yards. As Pinkerton had that walled off pretty well in a short side run.
Yeah, you've got a 21-0 lead here. You're down 21 points, Nick. You got 6:40 left in the 3rd quarter. The clock probably right about now, Nick, starts to become.
Got another penalty here against Pinkerton.
What was that?
I did not see the flag. I do see it now. I see it now. It's on the far sideline. And according to Jason Patch, it looked like one of the Pinkerton players came in below the knee. You see it there.
You're exactly right. Yeah, I never saw that. Yeah.
So that, of course, happens when the runner is engaged with another defender. And the second defender comes in low below the knee.
Yep.
So, after 3 penalties were placed against Pinkerton in that first half, the Astros are hit with 1 here. Gives Londonderry a fresh set of downs with the ball now in the red zone, just inside the 20-yard line. Nearing the midway point of this 3rd quarter, there's Cam Brutus. Takes his first snap today, hands to Jaden Navarro. And the senior is going to roll his way inside the 15-yard line after a gain of 5.
Yeah, just so many names checking into the game today, Nick, with key plays. And look at the running lane, just lowers his shoulder. All the little things done right with protecting the football at the same time.
Pretty good square-up tackle there by David Souther, the junior defensive back. Checks into the game for the first time here inside of 6 minutes. 2nd and 3. Lancers on the march, threatening to put this one possibly away with the ball at the 13-yard line. Another stretch run. This is Malik going to turn the corner. Turn his back to the defense at the 10-yard line, ended up down at the 9. Morrison and Catno are there.
Yeah, this offensive line is potent, Nick. They are running downhill.
Along with James Caruso in there on the stop for Pinkerton.
Devin Bowles in there doing a nice seal block. 64 is in there as well. That's Charlie Lance Terrific block.
Lance, one of the seniors up front. Londonderry's got about as big of an offensive line as there is in the state of New Hampshire when you include the tight ends, the wing backs, and that rotation of the 5 traditional positions. All right, Brutus is going to put Malik in motion again. Fake to him. They hand to Brutus, or they stay with Brutus rather, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown. He comes from 7 yards out. He was met at the goal line, kept his balance, and is in to cap off the drive for Londonderry as they make it now a 27-0 game.
Yeah, and the powder bombs come out, but watch Ty Miles here in this kick-out block, Nick. You're going to see why he's got D1 colleges. Look at him, number 75. Oh, too bad. Unfortunately, it's off the screen. Great job there by 64.
That's Lance.
That's Charlie Lance again. He's having himself a game.
So Blake Thompson is on.
Terrific blocking all the way around.
The left-footed kicker hoping to stay perfect here. On extra point tries, hit his first 3. And some of these Pinkerton fans are starting to head out here. Meanwhile, the kick is no good. A little bit of a gust of wind may have affected that kick, but either way, no good. It stays here 27-0. So Pinkerton, after a 9-0 regular season and a 55-point outburst a week ago in the quarterfinal win over Bishop Girton, came out really on their heels this afternoon, as you said, Steve. The opening series didn't go as planned. It ended with a lost fumble.
Yep. 2
plays later, Londonderry's on the board. You're in an early 7-0 hole. That gap widens to 14-0 after an impressive, lengthy drive for Londonderry at the end of the first quarter. And here to begin the second half, you're hit with an 85-yard kick return, and then the 7-yard touchdown run by Cam Brutus.
Yes, the offense and defensive line, Nick, there's nothing really. Every position, cornerback, safeties, linebacker core, the defensive line, the offensive line, play sequencing, they're just gelling at a high level here. It's just continued upward movement in talent as well as execution across the board. So many players are checked into this game for Londonderry today and have had impact time after time. This is a solid football team.
Short kick. Morrison at the 25 is wrapped up from behind quickly by Damon Dawson. Pretty good special teams play there.
Yeah, Londonderry
coverage is
making
consistent.
A statement, Nick.
Yep.
They're making a statement right now that they deserve to be in the finals. And
well, it'll be the 5th time in 6 seasons.
We're far away from that yet, but it's just they're starting to take over the game. And what that does is makes it for the offense trying to score points, just makes it that much more difficult. You have to overcome that confidence gap that's going on between one side and the other. That's a difficult chore, especially when you're missing your lightning rod,
If you're just joining us, Caden Michaud, one of the names on the short list for Player of the Year, out with an apparent shoulder injury that was suffered about midway through that second quarter.
There he is. He's sitting on the back on the bench there.
Hersom incomplete on what looked like a screen that was foiled near side. Will bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Hersom just does not the passing is just not coming off clean today. Some of them have been tipped, but some of them have just been just dealing with pressure every single play, defensive pressure coming right at them, and unable to connect and execute.
2nd down and 10. Back to the ground. Catno swallowed up. That's Paul Binder. He's a guy who just continues to make plays, Steve. Ty Miles, he gets a lot of the headlines, well-deserved, as we know.
Absolutely.
But Binder, almost just as big and almost just as good on the other side of that D-line.
Yeah, you're talking about, number 76, Paul Binder, to your point, Nick. Charlie Lance has had a great game today. He's been playing right out of his cleats. And Alex Villa just checking in time after time. There he is right there.
And there's an interception. Able to bat it with what looked like was 2 hands and then pull it in on his way to the ground. Excellent concentration. Londonderry They've got their second takeaway and another short field coming up as they'll set up shop in the red zone.
He's a model high school bookend. I think he could be a model model college bookend for somebody out there. He's one of those players that's really elevated his game, and that's just a terrific deep. Look at this play. Where they always tell you, while you're going in, if there's a way that you could, once you get to open space, you got or the freedom to do it, you got to raise your arms. He did that.
And he comes away with the Lancers' second takeaway of the afternoon. He's going to stay on the field as the quarterback, with the ball spotted just inside the 20-yard line. The speedy Jake Shenna in motion. They fake to him. They stay with Villa.
Yeah.
But there's nowhere to go up front. Nice job by Pinkerton to shut it down. Quintilani, the junior linebacker, in on the stop. Another tackle.
Yep.
From the linebacker, inside linebacker position. But Londonderry okay with it with a 2nd down and 7 coming up.
I'm watching substitutions, Nick, get put into the game by Londonderry, and the quality of play that he gets from the depth of his team that are non-starters is just a big factor as well. He can rest his team. They're very balanced, very deep. Speaks to the feeder program that feeds into the high school, then the freshman and JV system that feeds into the varsity level.
2nd and 7. Shenna set back in the pistol. Fake to him, and Villa has got some room left side. Breaks a tackle at the 10 and slides to a stop at about the 8-yard line. Great misdirection there.
Yep.
And that is close to a 1st down. Now they're going to give it to him. 1st and goal coming up here with the ball at the 9-yard line. So an 8-yard carry for Villa on his 4th rush of the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that clock is ticking now down towards 3 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. Villa going to come out, and Connor Williams is going to come back on to take the snap.
Well, when I first saw the Ty Miles situation, using him as a like almost a linebacker, not a linebacker, a fullback, moving up and down the side of the field, I wondered how that was going to work. Not about him, but his replacement.
Yeah, he's on wing. He's at the wingback spot here on the left side.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this is Matt Carroll with his 2nd carry. No, his 1st carry. He had a 1-yard catch back in the 1st half. Not going to get anything there. Nice job by Pinkerton to swarm the line.
Very good job. Good job to stay home there and play base. But, the key was, my concern was you take Ty Miles off of the up front offensive line, and what a terrific job that his replacements have done during the game, and they've really, really stepped up and still been able to control the line of scrimmage, and now you have him as a battering ram to go after any point of attack or use as a decoy. It's been a good strategy today.
He's going to line up on the right side this time. Again, in the backfield is the wingback. Shenna in motion. They're going to blow it dead.
Yep.
I think we have a timeout first. We do. It comes from the Londonderry sideline. Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait, and it's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 5 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the seacoast. Visit NHIPhoneRepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. And finally, by Spectrum Monthly, powerful local advertising solutions. Find out more at SpectrumMonthly.com. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. And not a lot of folks expected it to be a 27-0 ball game with just over 2 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. The Lancers have looked very good.
They do.
And now they face a 2nd down and goal from the 9-yard line coming out of the timeout. Williams hand to Shenna, just his 3rd carry this afternoon. The senior and multi-year starter is stopped just shy of the 5-yard line. Another good play by Joe Pikowski up front for Pinkerton on his 3rd tackle.
Well, you just see here with the Lancers, Nick, you just give them a crack of light Anything you give them, they take back and they multiply it in return. You literally have to be almost pure and mistake-free in order to beat this team. You've got to be that good and that sound to do it. And it just got once the game got off to the start that it did, kind of a quick 14-0 run there. It's just been very difficult for Pinkerton to get themselves back into the game offensively.
The 6'4" junior quarterback back in, Alex Villa. Direct snap to Shenna, trying to bounce it right side, hoping to get to the pylon. Is he in?
He's in.
Yes, he is. Touchdown, Londonderry. Jake Shenna. His second carry of the drive, his fourth of the game. It's pay dirt from 7 yards out in Londonderry. Kind of high-stepping at this point towards the finish line with 1:15 to go in this third quarter. It's 33-0.
Nick, they are a force right now. I mean, the execution, the blocking. This is a solid, excellent Pinkerton team, Nick, that they're able to win the line of scrimmage, that Lancers are able to win the line of scrimmage again, and it's intensifying now with still a quarter to go.
So a 7-yard touchdown run for Jake Shenna. We've said his name over and over the years. And he always finds a way to check in.
Shenna,
no matter what
absolutely.
The situation is.
Absolutely.
He finds a way to get his name in the box score, and he does so here.
You start with Navarro, Shenna, Doyon. I mean, and give me time, I'll get you 11 more of these guys that are ranging from 160 to 180 that play like they're 250 and fast as lightning. They're just so talented, and they're extremely well trained, and they've just got a motor that doesn't stop. There's a whole bunch of good things going on with in Lancer football. Both of these teams.
How about 9 different...
I did not expect this.
How about 9 different players, as we have a timeout here on the field? 9 different players have touched the football today for Londonderry.
Yeah, and that's interchangeability, which if all of a sudden you have a key injury, Nick, you've got the opportunity to fill it, and they're so deep. And they sometimes when you look at some of these 160 to 180 pound guys, Nick, that they have that are cornerbacks and safeties and running backs and stuff, and you watch them play, I mean, it's hard to differentiate who's the star and who isn't. There really isn't any.
Out of the timeout, which was taken, I guess, to set up this 2-point try for Londonderry, as they look to make it a 35-point gap, which would trigger a running clock. So there's some strategy here. They're going to hand off. Right side run is finished off for 2 by Adrian Cruz. The sophomore on his second touch gets a vote of confidence from Coach Lozon. 2-point try is good. And it's now a 35-0 game. And a running clock is coming up here following the kickoff.
Yeah, if you had tried to sell me on that before the game, Nick, I would have taken that bet. That would never happen, but it just continues to go downhill for the Astros, Nick, here. It just Londonderry is, let's call it what it is. They're putting on a show here. Watch the offensive blocking. You got Miles going in. You got number 6. Look at the block there by Miles in the end, and then Villa throwing a heck of a block as well.
That first replay, or this replay, is the touchdown.
Yep.
From Shenna.
Yep.
And then a moment ago, we saw the 2-point run from Adrian Cruz.
Just incredible.
So with 1:15 remaining, Londonderry out in front 35-0.
As more of the crowd files out here.
Yep. Again, an 8-1 regular season. The lone setback came back in week 4 on this field in a 24-20 loss against Pinkerton. This, of course, coming off the heels of an undefeated regular season last year, where they went back to the championship round, held the lead for, 47 of the 48 minutes against Bedford, before Danny Black led the Bulldog offense in a 2-minute drill down the field to set up what would be a game-winning field goal in the final seconds. So Londonderry, under Coach Lozon, looking to punch their ticket for the 5th time in the last 6 years to get to the D1 championship. Pinkerton, of course, high expectations coming into this season. A lot of those seniors were multi-year starters, a lot of talent up and down the roster, as we know, and they met those expectations with a 9-0 regular season, which included a win, as I mentioned, over Londonderry in Week 4, a blowout quarterfinal round win over Bishop Girton, but it was not meant to be in the end if this score holds up, which, barring a miracle, it looks like it will. We're inside the final 20 seconds here of the third quarter. And after a run to the left side, Astros will face a second down. Catno, meanwhile, the senior playing with passion and giving them production in the run game as usual with a 6-yard carry there. That will bring us to the end of the third quarter. It's all Londonderry here in Derry. A 14-0 halftime lead is ballooned to 35-zip. We've got a running clock coming up on the other side. Fourth quarter next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you here in Derry. Start of the fourth quarter. Londonderry out in front of their rivals by a score of 35-0. Lancer defense has forced 2 turnovers. The special teams has come up with a touchdown on a kick return. And, of course, they've spread the ball out on offense, a part of that running attack that has been lethal all season long.
Yeah, another thing you got to look at, the preparation of the Lancers coming into this game, Nick, is a reflection of, usually the performance in the game is a reflection of the practices, of how it went, and the preparation. The preparation appears to me to be flawless. They must have had an incredible week of practice. Brought in a few nuances with the whole Ty Miles positioning thing, but overall, Nick, this is just an increase in the talent that's put out on the field, the individual growth of each individual player that has creates a collective force that's just.
Yeah, Londonderry, they graduated a lot last year, as we know.
Yeah.
And Coach Lozon admitted at the beginning of the season wasn't quite sure.
It's up to them.
What he was bringing back exactly.
Yeah.
And he's seen that constant improvement, especially since the Week 4 loss here at Pinkerton.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Matt Morrison, one of the talented juniors that Coach O'Reilly will likely be bringing back next season, held his own.
He sure has.
It's 6 carries on the day so far. That one goes for 7 and a first down.
To me, a big, a thing that I felt really the place where they were in the game, that being Pinkerton, with an opportunity when that illegal man down field call right there was a critical juncture of the game.
Yeah, a couple of tough penalties that wiped out 2 different crucial third down conversions. Morrison still going hard, a first down and then some, still alive down the sideline all the way down to the 10 before he's finally tackled by Carson Palma. Big run there for Morrison, longest play of the day for Pinkerton.
Yep. Yeah, nice job getting around the edge. How about the breaking of tackles? He just, I wouldn't call it a stiff arm. It's more of a separating arm. Watch right here, this play right here. Yeah, he just kind of swipes him away, and tremendous coordination to staying in bounds.
It's a 41-yard pickup.
41-yard pickup. He can cover a lot of ground in a short period of time.
Eventually forced out of bounds in what may have been a game-saving tackle, touchdown-saving tackle by the junior Carson Palma. So Pinkerton trying to get on the board here. Running clock means we're already 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. Morrison in motion. They go to Catno up the middle, and he's met and tackled by Andrea Taliadoros. That's the senior second stop up front for Londonderry.
Pretty much all year long, Nick, we've been following Pinkerton throughout the year, doing games, watching film. And when you see Catno met at the line with that kind of strength and force and brought down, struggling for a 2-yard gain, you know the defensive line of how good the defensive line of Londonderry is, because Catno's just been a tremendous player for them this year, and still very difficult to bring down no matter who's. Here he is.
Touchdown.
Yep.
Morrison left side is going to get Pinkerton on the board.
Oh, boy. There's been a personal foul here.
There's a flag thrown late. If it stands, it's an 8-yard score. It may have come after the play.
It's after. Oh, it's clearly after. But
officials will talk.
If you look down the lower part of your, well, now in this view, you're probably not going to see it. Right here, that bring down there, and then it just continued.
Centano, one of the offensive linemen.
Yeah, it just continued. Just frustration coming out. But that was well after it was in the end zone.
Jason Patch, our referee.
We'll see what the call is here. It is a touchdown. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yep. Most likely on Centano.
Yeah. Oh, there's no question.
Either way, the touchdown stands. Pinkerton's on the board. 8-yard score from Morrison.
Sorry, Nick. Jason was watching it, and I don't think he was looking to throw a flag, but it kept on continuing. Watch over here. You're going to see there's the kick-out block. Nice block. We're just not going to see it right there, but it continued for quite a long period of time where he finally just had to throw the flag.
So Peyton Harmony on for the extra point. Trying to make this 35-7. That's a line drive kick, and it's up and good.
Yep. Well, we're on the board, Nick.
35-7. An impressive drive there, highlighted by 2 Morrison runs, the 41-yarder and then the 8-yard score.
I was just going to say, one thing that Pinkerton is not going to worry about next year is to having a feature running back, because they've got a beauty. I would argue he will probably be one of the top running backs coming into next season. The experience this young man has and the performance that he's had, he comes back as a senior with another year of growth and strength. He's going to be a force.
Yeah, we saw him last year as a sophomore play a key role late in the season for Coach O'Reilly.
Yep.
And has been an integral part of that backfield rotation this year as a junior. And Morrison, as you just said, widely expected to be one of the better running backs next year statewide as a senior. This one, though, is Londonderry's afternoon. A 35-7 lead on the board here with just over 3 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Lancers got out to that fast start. They force a turnover in the first minute. Take a 2-play drive to the house on a 33-yard Connor Williams touchdown and have never really looked back. Alex Villa.
What a game he's had.
He scored in that first quarter as well to make it a 14-0 game. That was our score at halftime. And then a big third quarter for the Lancers. It began off the tee with an 85-yard kick return by Seth Doyon. We saw Cam Brutus on a quarterback keeper, a 7-yard touchdown run.
Been well distributed throughout the whole squad.
And then Jake Shenna scored from 7 yards out as well with just over a minute to go in that third quarter. But Pinkerton is on the board here early in the fourth. The problem is the penalty is going to force them to kick here from the 25-yard line, and they're still going to have to deal with a running clock as we're inside of 9 minutes now remaining in regulation.
One of the things that's really impressed me is how well that offensive line played with the 5 men up front there without Ty Miles on that line. I've talked about it multiple times, but it just continues to amaze me of how this is a good Pinkerton team.
Meanwhile, Doyon, usually sure-handed, muffs the kickoff but does recover as he falls on it at his own 45-yard line. Heads-up play there, but Pinkerton almost gets the ball back there. You see Doyon coming in full speed there off the fingertips, and then does take a fortunate bounce right back into his chest for Londonderry. So the Lancers have it. And Steve, are we going to see a fifth quarterback here? Is that even possible? We've seen 4 all season, as we know, in rotation.
Does that look
for
like
Coach
it's
Lozon, but I think we may see another. Connor Truesdale is in the huddle, the 6'4 senior. No, there's Connor Williams.
Yeah.
With some of the backups in that huddle.
That would be something.
It would
to see 5 quarterbacks enter a game.
We see Williams
on the same team.
He's going to run out of the pistol here. Shen is still in the game. Truesdale is as a wide receiver out to the left. This is a pitch to Palma.
Downfield blocking.
Flag comes in
down.
late. Would have been a 6-yard game, but a hold is going to back up Londonderry here. Comes with 5 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter. It's got Coach Lozon upset.
Yeah.
Not sure if that was on the perimeter or on the weak side or where the hold was.
Didn't really see much there.
Either way, Steve, that's just the second penalty against Londonderry today. They had 1 5-yarder in the first half.
When you get into a tight game, Nick, we saw that last night with penalties. Let's face it, Portsmouth going into that game, backup quarterback, they had to generate offense against a team like Bedford.
Bulldogs on their way to a 28-0 win last night. You can watch that broadcast on our YouTube channel, FNLNH Media.
A lot of people watch it already.
But it looks like we're going to have a rematch from the 2022 Division I final. One of the all-time great finishes to a game where Bedford, trailing in that one by a score of 14-12 with less than 2 minutes, orchestrated a 2-minute drive to remember that set up the game-winning field goal. Meanwhile, there's an injured player here.
47, I think.
For Pinkerton, who is down, not 47, but 42, Jared Sag.
Oh, I thought it was 47. That's right.
Jared Sag, the junior, is down and shaken up. Of course, this on the heels of Caden Michaud being taken out of the game earlier with an apparent shoulder injury.
Let's see if we can see what happened there. Looks like somebody fell on. Yeah, someone fell on top of him there. All right, you're going to see, I think he was down right there. I didn't really get a good view of it there, but it looked to me like someone fell on him after he was lying down on the ground. So there he is.
Yeah, Sag is now on his feet.
Yeah, you see at the right of your screen there.
Yeah, it looked like somebody rolled up on his left leg.
Yeah. Well, he was in an awkward position getting backed up, and
now he's going to try to make his way back to the home sideline with some assistance here.
He's going to need some help. Yeah, that left, you were right, Nick, that left leg.
Connor Williams is going to show some good sportsmanship here and help out his opponent before Matt Morrison takes over the duties. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. Glad you could join us. Bedford awaits the winner. Most likely at this point, safe to say it'll be Londonderry with a running clock and a 35-7 lead. Yeah, that game will be broadcasted live only on NFHS Network, NFHSnetwork.com. Steve and I will have the call. We'll broadcast in conjunction with our Friday Night Lights crew, but the only place you can watch next Saturday's championship is on NFHSnetwork.com, and that does come with a subscription fee. Second down and 11. Of course, we'll release the game 48 hours later on our YouTube channel, FNLNH.com.
Yep.
FNLNH Media. We're just about midway through this fourth quarter. We're waiting for the official to give the go-ahead here for a second down and 11 with the football at the Lancer 45-yard line. Williams now does take the snap. Hand off to a 12th different Lancer to handle the ball tonight. That's Ethan Wheeler, 5'10 junior. Trying to find some room to his left and does pick up 3 yards.
I think you're going to start seeing more backups coming in the game, Nick, to get them some experience. And probably going to start seeing that on both sides.
Tackle made by Marcus Navarro, the junior, for Pinkerton.
Didn't really see that last night. Last night, pretty much all the starters were in the game right to the last snap, as I recall. But I'm beginning to see sprinkling in here a couple of
yeah, it looked like Coach Matthews was treating that fourth quarter as almost like a dress rehearsal for next week.
Yep.
We saw an onside kick.
I would agree.
And as you mentioned, most of the starters played the full 48 minutes.
Yep.
Coming up on 5 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. Londonderry with the ball, facing a 3rd and 8. It's a toss to Palma. Palma going to shoot the gap, spin his way very close to the first down marker at the Astro 44. They do give it to him. It's a first down, Londonderry.
Great job by Owen Rondo, 59 on the Lancers, coming downfield, just holding his blocks, doing a great job.
Palma, the 14th,
opened up the edge there.
14th different ball carrier.
Yeah,
for Londonderry tonight.
Well, that's nothing. 14 is a little new, but I mean, you normally see 8 or 9 guys touching the ball. Running backs touching the ball. Nick, are you counting their receivers as well?
Receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, anybody who's had the football in hand.
Yep. That's some.
I believe the total number is 14 now.
It's incredible.
For
Wide
Londonderry.
distribution.
And Steve, nobody has had more than 6 carries either.
No, and that's just balance right there. How do you? That's a little more difficult to scout and film as well, Nick, because you can't really zero in on anything. You know.
Here comes
He's
Adrian
gone.
Cruz up the middle, has a seam, foot race at the 10. Dylan trying to drag him down near the goal line, and they're going to mark him down just shy of the end zone at the 1 yard line.
Yeah,
this is 43-yard run by the sophomore Adrian Cruz.
Yeah, this is all through the middle, Nick. So. You know, this is by no means running it up. You've got a backup guy in, and he's running through the middle. So, he looked good. Looked good running the ball.
Londonderry, as we're inside of 4 minutes now remaining, threatening to punch another one in here as they try to rebuild what was a 35-point lead. They go with Williams back in the huddle. Williams having a long convo there with Connor Truesdale. He's now ready to go. It's like kind of a full house backfield.
Yeah.
Full back to the left. The pistol back is Cruz, and fittingly so, they let him cap off the drive with a 1 yard touchdown. That's the 6th touchdown of the afternoon for Londonderry. And the 6th player to score is Adrian Cruz. It comes with 3:08 remaining. The 1 yard touchdown plunge makes it 41-7 with the extra point coming up.
I'll be honest with you. I'm really surprised that Ty Miles has gone back in the game, Nick, in this situation. The last thing you want to do is take any chance on an injury going. You know you're going to the championship game. Really surprised he's in there on special teams. But I would imagine that probably would be it. I would think.
Blake Thompson on for the extra point try. That one up and good. So he atones for the miss from earlier. 42-7. As you hear the Londonderry band, they're camped out behind one of the end zones.
Playing the Notre Dame fight song, which they've adopted as their own.
42-7. So this sets the stage for really a highly anticipated rematch a week from today. Bedford and Londonderry. Those are two teams very familiar with each other, and frankly, those teams don't really like each other, if I may speak candidly.
No, I think there's in a competitive sort of way. I would, of course, agree with that. Great coaching staffs on both those programs, Nick. It's going to be something else. There's some similarities between these two teams.
Very similar.
As far as balance.
Both teams in the last decade have 3? No. Bedford's got 3 championships in D1. 16, 18, and again in 22.
Correct.
Londonderry did it in 19 and 21.
Yep.
And will gun for their third last 10 seasons.
Yep. That's some pretty serious. Tough to win a championship. Real tough.
Mm-hmm. To
win multiple championships is a distant second as far as that's concerned, and to win 3 is said something. What's interesting is Bedford was in Division 3 and Division 2 and never could win a championship, and then they go into Division. Came close, but didn't happen, and then all of a sudden they get into Division 1, and wow.
Of course, they've done it under 3 different head coaches.
Yes.
As well. Coach Hines, Coach Stank, and last year under Coach Matthews.
No, just Coach Stank and Coach
Stank
Matthews.
had 2, that's right.
Coach Hines did not
Hines
have a championship.
had them in the championship in D2.
Yeah.
I apologize.
But that was...
Here's a tackle. Yeah, Stank won it in 16 and 18, and then Matthews a chance to go back-to-back next weekend.
Yeah, of course, Coach Stank was the defensive coordinator
under Coach Hines.
Right. And did an incredible job for him.
Right.
I thought that was a great pick to come after him. So
Londonderry, very short list of head coaches over the last 40 or so seasons, just 3.
Yeah.
You saw the legendary Tom Sawyer. He was honored earlier this season on the field.
Yep.
You had Coach Rich for a bit, and now the last 10 years under the guidance of Coach Lozano.
It was awful nice to see Coach Sawyer that night. You could see that you just imagine you get up to that point, even talking to Coach Levine, who may not be finished, by the way, when you talk to him. He's still missing
Incredible.
He just needed to get home to his family and spend some time, keep things in balance.
Meanwhile, a run there for Brady Spellman, 5'7" freshman, is going to get his first carry. So a glimpse of the future, perhaps, from Coach O'Reilly, a 4-yard gain. And we're down inside now the final 100 seconds of this football game. Coming up after the game, full recap, stats, highlights, plus a look in at the D2 championship between Pelham and Plymouth. That game going on right now. So a lot to get to, and of course we'll set the stage for next weekend's D1 title between Bedford and Londonderry. That's all coming up after the game. New quarterback here.
Might be getting a glimpse of the next year.
That's Aiden McDonald, the sophomore.
Yeah.
Did a good job keeping his balance and extending that play. Ends up about a yard shy. No, they're going to give him the first down.
Yep. Yeah, he earned
an
that.
8-yard carry.
Boy, Nick, he looks pretty good.
Looks pretty nimble there.
On that play right there, I'll tell you. That's a sophomore, huh?
Sophomore.
Yeah, you throw him with Morrison and a good offensive line, you've already got a pretty darn good start right there.
We saw him briefly, Steve,
earlier
this season against Salem.
He went in for
started the game.
And
then they brought in Tim Harrison in the third series. Handoff. This is one of the fullbacks. And I believe that's Landon McKiernan, from a football family, as we know.
Yep.
Final 30 seconds and a standing ovation coming from the far sideline. The Londonderry fans celebrating what was a very impressive start to finish this afternoon. 42-7. Coach Lozon, you don't see him smile too often on the sidelines. I think he just cracked one there. And this game is going to end
with a
42-7 score up on the scoreboard. As this one is final, it'll be Londonderry and Bedford next weekend in a highly anticipated rematch of the Division I championship game from a year ago. As Londonderry, boy oh boy, they look scary good at times this afternoon.
This is against Pinkerton Academy. This is an undefeated football team, Nick, that the Pinkerton Astros gave them a little bit. Well, we'll come back and recap, right? So maybe we'll do that afterwards.
All right. We'll take a break, come back, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis, and the D2 championship. We'll get you that score as well between Pelham and Plymouth. All on the other side. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, summer and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.NHTomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
Well, this one may send some shockwaves through the atmosphere in terms of New Hampshire high school football. A 42-7 semifinal victory for Londonderry over their arch rival Pinkerton. Lancers are back in the D1 championship for the fifth time in the last 6 seasons. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you. This one got off to Londonderry's favor, very early. First minute of the game, Pinkerton on a botched handoff, lost a fumble. And that set up the Lancers with a short field. 2 plays later, Londonderry's in the end zone via a 33-yard touchdown run by senior quarterback Connor Williams. Later in that first quarter, the Lancers put together an 89-yard touchdown drive, capped off by a 5-yard score from the other quarterback, one of the other quarterbacks, Alex Villa, one of 4 to take a snap today for Londonderry. It was 14-0 after the first quarter. A couple of costly penalties and a costly injury in that second quarter really hampered Pinkerton. They lose their Player of the Year award finalist, Caden Michaud. He was held in check up to that point, just 1 yard on 7 carries, but really got drilled into the turf hard and did not return about midway through that second quarter. 14-0 Londonderry was the score at halftime. And then on the opening kick of the third quarter, the Lancers widened the gap with an 85-yard touchdown return by Seth Doyon to make it 21-0. Lancers come up with an interception, another short field, and Cam Brutus, the fourth quarterback to enter the game, scores from 7 yards out to make it 27-0. Just minutes later, Jake Shenna, a 7-yard touchdown run. Adrian Cruz, the 2-point try, made it 35-0 with just over a minute remaining in the third quarter. That triggered the running clock. We had a swift-moving fourth quarter, and the two teams exchanged touchdowns. Matt Morrison got on the board, a 41-yard run, set up what was later an 8-yard touchdown run for the junior. Extra point try from Peyton Harmony was good, 35-7 at that point. But Londonderry would have the last word. Sophomore Adrian Cruz on a 1-yard score set up the final of 42-7. So it'll be Londonderry and Bedford again in the Division I championship next weekend.
Yeah, before we get there, let's you just broke down the structure of the game and what happened, but there's so much that went in between that, Nick, as far as like you were talking earlier about the timing of some of those penalties. But I want to go a little broader than that and just say that Londonderry was better prepared today as far as I'm concerned. I don't mean that has anything to do with coaching as much as the players. I think Coach O'Reilly himself said it the other night. The players are the ones that perform on the field. And across the board, the depth, I would say, is it because of trenches? Well, yes. Is it because of the defensive backfield and the corners coming up and making tremendous sticks? Yes. Was it the safeties coming up? Yes. Was it the offensive? Was it the offensive blocking? Yes. Was it the running backs? Yeah. It was everything. It was special teams. It was everything. You look at every facet of this game. Londonderry won those today. There wasn't any category where Pinkerton. It was a broad-based win, and that's why the score ended up as it did. So congratulations to Pinkerton. If you had ever told me this was going to be the score, I would never have believed it, Nick. But the train started running down the tracks, and it was like a locomotive coming downhill at you. It was just too much of a wave to stop, and then it began to multiply on itself and exponentially throughout the game. This Londonderry team, you looked at Bedford last night, beating an excellent Portsmouth team. And now you look at Londonderry today. Boy, you start thinking ahead to the game next week. I don't know where you go. Both teams are broad-based with talent, energy, vitality, commitment. They're in the conditioning of both of these teams. You can see Londonderry never tires. Bedford doesn't ever seem to tire. You never see the arms on the hips. They're just extremely well conditioned. They're extremely strong. And they're extremely well coached. We had 4 teams of iron, and what we've got right now is that was smelted. And when you look at it and you break it all down, both of these teams are forged steel. And that's the teams that are going to play each other next week, Nick. I look forward to calling that game with you. This is our last game as far as our regular YouTube channel. And once again, Nick, you've just had an absolutely stellar year. You call a game with precision. You make it so easy for me. Really enjoyed working with you. It just comes to an end so quickly. I'm going to miss it.
It does. It moves very quickly.
I'll be back for some of those basketball games.
Appreciate the kind words, and right back at you.
Terrific job, and I look forward to a big call next week on the NFHS Network.
Absolutely. And as Steve mentioned, the only place you can watch next weekend's D1 title game live is on NFHS.
If I may,
NFHS Network.
If I may say one thing.
Sure.
Jimmy Lozon has dealt with a lot of adversity this year and a lot of sadness, losing his dad. And when there's so much of football was gathered around their relationship. So in that sense, I'm happy for Jim that he was able to have that sense overcome. The players really rallied around him. They had the chair over there, that his dad used to sit in. They brought that with him. There's a lot of emotion that I'm sure that he felt going into this game, not having him by his side. But his players really rallied around, and his assistant coaches, he's got a great assistant. Both of these teams have tremendous head coaches and assistant coaches. Looks to me like Pinkerton's got some pretty solid players coming back next year. I think the world of Coach O'Reilly. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. To your point last night, it was just Londonderry's day-to-day in spades.
Absolutely. Well said. All right, I want to thank Coach O'Reilly and his staff for giving us the green light.
They're terrific.
As usual, very easy to work with. The folks very friendly here in Derry. We appreciate it. Jeff and everyone on down.
Yes.
We appreciate them. One final thing. Congratulations as well to Pelham as they took care of business in the D2 final today by a final score of 35-7 over Plymouth. That's back-to-back D2 titles on the heels of back-to-back D3 titles.
They are a
powerhouse. Congratulations, yes, sir, to the Pelham Pythons. All right. In addition to the thanks to Coach O'Reilly, we want to thank our sponsors as well. Another great ride, another great campaign. Of course, it starts with Beals Insurance, MG Sports Fundraising, New Hampshire iPhone Repair. Appreciate them, of course.
Terrific sponsors.
The New Hampshire Tomahawks, and, of course, Spectrum Monthly as well. One final reminder, next weekend, championship game comes your way on Saturday live from Exeter. Steve and I will be on the call. We'll be broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS Network. And the only place you can see that game live is on NFHSnetwork.com for a subscription fee. Want to thank our guys here, guys and gals, of course. Kristen Beals upstairs on the camera. Appreciate her. And, of course, down on the field, John Barron spearheading the setup.
Incredible.
Matt Beals flying in from D.C. Appreciate the effort. And, of course, the whole thing put together by the man behind the curtain, the wizard of replay, Ben Beals, our director back in the Beals Insurance Studios. For my partner, executive producer Steve Beals, my name is Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time, Londonderry 42, Pinkerton 7. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.